Channel guidelines. You can add a welcome message and up to 3 rows must acknowledge before chatting and commenting. So I have to do it through Studio. Okay. What's good, guys? What's Gucci? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling? It's Friday, TGIF, or whatever the fuck the kids used to say. You guys doing well? You guys doing... Actually, what are you guys doing? You guys are just watching me. Interesting. You guys like me or something? It is. Anyway, the accursed chef and his pair of furry... Alright, let's not even look at that. Fucking name is this? Kuni ni saikyo no baria wo hatara heiwa ni narisugite tsui hou saremashita. That's a fucking long ass. The Eminence in Shadow. Somebody told me to read that once. Fuck was it? How do you do, fellow children? How do you do, fellow youngsters? Okay, so, today we have a goal. Our goal is to figure out... One second. How strong Composite Luffy is. It's a whole dang sentence. That's not a title, bro. That's what I'm saying, but you know what? It'd be like that. One Piece. Let's see. We need to make this way smaller. There we go. Alright, we need to figure out how strong this guy is. Wow, that's very small text. Let's raise it up to like a 48. Holy shit. Still not big enough. 72 still. Let's figure out how strong this guy is. So, what we're gonna do... I'm not a huge fan of Joseph Stalin. Where the fuck did that come from? Alright. Composite means all versions combined to make him stronger? Yeah. Yes. That is what composite means. So, we are going to account for many different iterations. We're going to account for many iterations of Luffy. If you guys have seen Luffy in a video game, if you guys have seen Luffy in... we need sources, right? So what are our sources? What are our sources? I need you guys to give me real quick what games, what series, games, etc. we're going to talk about. Obviously, the movies, like Film Red. So we're going to talk about movies, video games, special crossovers, etc. So we start from episode... Yeah, something like that. Okay. So, I've been thinking about some of the stuff myself. Movie 6 has illusion resistance. Hold on. What we're going to do... First, I want you guys to give me names of things that we can use. I know that there is the Toriko X, Dragon Ball X, One Piece. We know that there is Film Red. Somebody mentioned Film 6. Movie 6. We have, Unlimited World Red. What else do we have? You know, that special One Piece where Luffy fought against Goku? Yeah. We were definitely bringing that one up. My sources are Oda himself. I already skilled Comp Luffy with him. Trust, or you can ask Oda. True. He fought Goku... It was matching him, so Goku that was. Wasn't it Buu Saga? There's no way to scale off of Crossverse, to be fair. Off the crossover? There's a lot of ways to scale off to the crossover. For games, it's like Burning Blood, Pirate Warriors. Do any of those games offer any kind of higher scaling? Odyssey. We're gonna do Burning Blood. World Seeker. Oh, Jump Force. Jump Force. For some of my, for those who know Ball, There's also J-Star Victory Versus, which was a fucking mouthful of a name. You notice the characters were dressed like in Battle of Gods. Not sure how you'd scale fighting games because anyone can damage anyone else. Yeah, but we could still throw it in. Who gives a shit? We're gonna go by narrative. Do any of the games have like a narrative to them? Okay, so Jump Force Luffy, does that count? I don't know about Jump Force. Has Luffy beat Goku and Co? Yeah, Luffy definitely fights some very powerful characters in Jump Force. Toriko Loki Peak. I was referencing Jump Force, like Luffy being able to injure Goku. Yeah. But we're going also by like the narrative of the games as well, right? We're also going to go by the narrative of the games. So I think it's completely fine to let's bring up YouTube. I think we'll try to bring each of these up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and this is how you know that like I'm a terrible content creator. I didn't think about like how else we can go about this besides like just, oh hey, let's literally just look each of these things up and then basically put it all together. We're basically gonna do the research together right now for this. It's just not gonna be a video, by the way. I don't think I'm gonna do like an actual like how strong is Composite Luffy thing. I've already done what it means to fight Monkey D. Luffy. I don't feel like I'm doing another like one of those videos, but yeah, let's make a new. Actually, no, just random nonsense to talk with chat. Let's bring this down. Okay, let's start over here. So what? So Composite Luffy, right? Composite Luffy. Jump Force Luffy is outer. What do each of these different, let's do it again, film red. Can I copy and paste this? It should still be active, right? Yeah, it should still be active. Okay, so far these are the ones we've got. If anybody knows any video game or anything that like can give Luffy better scaling, be more than welcome to put it in. I don't know the details of Jump Force's outer because of Goku, like I said, I don't know, I just remember. I bet that the end of the regions will be like Luffy is complex multiversal with inaccessible speeds. So right now, these are the series that we are going to check out. I think Jump Force Luffy scales to Kane, who scales massively above the fodder Venom, who no-diff Vegeta and implant him with an Umbrus Cube. What the fuck? See, this is how I know. This is how you know I never played that fuck-ass game besides, like, the fucking, like, the demo I think they had. It was, like, either the demo or it was, like, the last open beta before it came out. That shit was so ass. The events in the One Piece movies are canon, but the feats are still canon, right? No, everything, it doesn't matter what it is. Composite just means anything that Luffy's popped up in, we're going to use. Okay. So I think the easiest of this, I think the easiest of these to essentially break down first and foremost is, Toriko X One Piece X Dragon Ball. There was an English dub for this. Okay, so it was Dragon Ball Z. Let's look that up real quick. Toriko. Soreno Gurumeji da. I think it was because of the main villain Jump Force Prometheus or something. He saw every character as fiction, i.e. being above it, and wanted it to Luffy Universal Meta go brr. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's first do some research about this. It's a crossover that aired in 2013. When did Battle of Gods come out? What year did Dragon Ball Battle of Gods come out? It came out in March 30th, 2013. Ah! Yo! Hey! I'm not saying nothing. This fuck-ass thing came out after Battle of Gods, so we are going to treat it as afterwards, right? Okay, so let's start off with the Toriko X One Piece X DBZ thing, right? We'll check it out. We'll skip through it. Yeah, SBS can be taken literally, just upscale and hype. Okay. March 30th, 2013. This one is April 7th, 2013. You can jump the plot. The storyline centers around the No Hold Back Gourmet tournament sponsored by the International, the IGO, where characters compete for delicious with carrot sizzled cattle meat. That's right, Luffy erased an SBS. He did do that. SBS. Let's check out. Is there like a wiki page so we can just like research this real quick? We'll just go through this one. Okay. Yeah, what's the point of ad block if it doesn't block out these fuck-ass ads? Okay. For celebrating the start of the Toriko anime, a special collaboration with One Piece was made. A 1 hour long special serving of Toriko, episode 1 of Toriko, and One Piece episode... Okay. So, episode 492 of One Piece. A year later, at the first anniversary of Toriko, and because of the success of the first collaboration, a second Toriko One Piece was announced. So now in our special Toriko One Piece, okay. The third collaboration was announced, titled Dream 9 Toriko X Dragon Ball X One Piece collaboration. A 1 hour special featuring Toriko, Goku, okay, which will air in Toonami in 2009. The summary. Okay, we'll just check out the summaries for this. To prove this is canon version of Goku. This is the canon version of Goku. It must be exclusive to the crossover and there must be relevant. I don't give a shit, dude. I genuinely could not give a shit. This came out afterwards. I'm just going to count it as such. This came out afterwards. It genuinely doesn't matter. But they're saying Dragon Ball Z, so we'll just fucking say, alright, whatever, Z Goku. It doesn't matter. I thought you weren't streaming today. No, I was going to stream today. I was just going to do this. Anime Luffy just verbatim transcends all imagination. The IGO is hosting the world's best eating tournament, the Tenkaichi Kuokai, a merciless race with no rules on a certain island. The tournament's champion prize is a luxury rare carrot-sizzled cattle. Toriko and his friends were aiming for the championship. Luffy and the Straw Hat is set to participate in the event as well, and Goku and his friends are also contestants. The showdown was to determine the strongest of the three franchises, lead. The special also features the following cast of characters. Sonny, yeah, we don't care about that. Mr. Satan is the color commentator for the race. He ends up falling into the battlefield and is the official winner when, they destroyed the arena accidentally. The mightiest collaboration in history versus the Glutton of the Sea. After Mr. Satan won the competition, the champion serves up the champion prize, the carrot cattle, and during the meal, reveals that a shocking truth, the tournament was held in order to lure out the deep-sea glutton creature Akami. Okay, let's open that up. Said to suck out the energy of living things. Soon sensing Luffy and the others' powers, Akami appears out of the depths of the sea. Goku, Luffy, and Toriko may combine their power in order to defeat this deadly monster. Okay, so let's see what the Akami can do. Okay. So, it takes place... this comes out... It comes out after Battle of Gods... but wait a second. If it comes out after Battle, let me look this up real quick. Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. Oh no, this does count as Dragon Ball Z. You can't actually count Battle of Gods. Yeah. We can count Battle of Gods. Okay, so it comes out after Battle of Gods. It still says that it's the Z cast, but this was also before Super releases, so we can just say that. I think it's completely fine. Yeah, I think it'll be absolutely fine if we just say that. Like, yeah. Comes out after Battle of Gods. Comes out after Battle of Gods in real life. So there's an argument for post BOG Goku. There's a post, but we'll be using Z scaling for simplicity. Okay, so what do we give Luffy from this, right? What do we have Luffy at? Okay, let's see. Actually, let me do this first too, since I can just do this. Can I just throw Luffy? Can I just throw the PNG of Luffy in here? I really can. That's so funny. I really can. So what is this version of Luffy capable of doing, right? Okay, so what happens in here? What happens? Let's see the Akami. The Akami is the most basic form, resembles a round little fish with red skin, no visible eyes, tiny pink lips, 2 small fins, and several white tentacles that come out from behind it. This, along with sweet-sounding bird-like chirps it makes, gives it... Let me close it. Let me bottle this down. Makes it give it a very innocent appearance. However, when ready to feed, the Akami will open its mouth wide with its sharp fangs and tentacles while letting out a fearsome roar. It feeds more the life force of others, and large and intimidating body turns into a monster's gigantic being. Still possesses a round body with grown larger in size, exceeding the height of the width of 2 humans and a Namekian. It also is more of a blob-like form. The tentacles become longer and thicker, while its teeth also become larger and sharper. Its third form, the medium tuna, the super big tuna. Okay, so that's the second form, third form, fourth form, and this is the super big tuna. Okay. In the fifth form is a super big tuna. The Yakami gains a serpentine-like body, dark purple skin, more toned muscles, sharp teeth, fangs, tentacles that grow incredibly large, and only possesses a mouth, fangs. Okay. Luffy leads a punch to the face from base Goku and keeps up pace. Okay, so let's pull out. Let's see if we can actually find the fight that they go through, right? No, this wasn't it, right? Holy shit. we need I think we actually just need to pull up the episode. Fuck it. I'm just gonna delete the stream right afterwards. I don't give a shit. I'll just delete the stream afterwards. This one doesn't have to keep up. Toriko, right? Toriko. I think it was in Toriko. No, that doesn't help. Really? Wait, time out. Episode 590. Episode 590 of what series? One Piece? Is it 590 of One Piece or Toriko? Well, I don't think Toriko ever made it to episode 500. Wait, what the fuck? They don't have Toriko on this fuck-ass site? What the hell? What the hell? Why the hell does this website not have Toriko? Jesus Christ. One Piece. Okay, got it. So we'll just do it from One Piece's perspective then. 590. Oh, piece of fucking shit. Oh, don't give me that shit. I turned off the ad block. Yo. I turned off the ad block. What the fuck? Alright. Pause on this site. Now we have to go through this shit of clicking the page like 5 billion fucking times. Alright, we're gonna keep it muted, because I can't have it like be out for too long. Okay. This are the characters essentially trying to fight. Sheer root. Don't leave him behind. Yeah, I think it just all boils down in the end to a big fight between the three. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see what we have here. Without further ado, begin. So I think Goku's the one who makes like the first move. Okay. Luffy can clearly tank punches from Goku. What happens? Luffy can clearly tank punches from... Clearly tank punches from post-Z Goku. Galaxy... Oh, actually, I'm not even going to throw in the Galaxy stuff. Can post-Z Goku. If it's manga Toriko, Luffy would be deep high into Luffy is high uni. Yeah. So no crazy high outer shit. It's anime Toriko though. Luffy, Roger, so Roger over Conquerors. Just use some other webs, man. I sent you so many webs. I'm gonna use this one for now because I don't want the other ones to like get taken down. Luffy had an event in Dragon Ball Heroes, so that game also counts. Did Dragon Ball Heroes have a crossover event? Dragon Ball Heroes One Piece crossover. Crossover. Dragon Ball Heroes? You said Dragon Ball Heroes? You have to jump monster. Yeah. Goku straight up blitzed him. Jump Force. Luffy is not on the level of Jump Force Naruto and Jump Force Goku, but how the fuck do you, can we also add Bounty Rush as a pretty game? It's pretty much basically every version of Luffy and some pretty interesting mechanics. We can throw it in, but like, we're trying to find high scaling for Luffy. Toriko's higher. Also, a lot of people, also I played a lot, so I have some good knowledge. If you can throw in some of the stuff that happens, like some of like the high-end stuff that happens, if we're counting promos, Gear 4 Luffy is shown equal to SSJ Blue in the Nintendo game. Which Nintendo game? I need a name for this stuff. Okay, let's look up One Piece games that have One Piece. And let's just see that. List of One Piece video games. There's Pirate King, there's Pirate King. What the hell is this? The Wonder Swan. Who here's ever played the Wonder Swan? Mission 9, Luffy versus Goku. Just search that. Mission 9. Mission 9. Luffy versus Goku. Mission 9 reference is likely pertains to Dragon Ball Heroes God Mission 9 trailer, which is a promotional crossover with Dragon Ball. Okay, so it's a special collaboration. Okay, this is the Mission 9 trailer? Okay. Oh, shit! That's Capsule... Wait, no, that's Battle of Gods Luffy. Sorry, that's Battle of Gods Goku. It's not Battle of Gods, that's Resurrection F Goku. Post time skip. Okay, Mission 9. Let's throw this one in. Mission 9. Luffy is fighting base Resurrection F Goku. It's called DBX One Piece. It's a 3B game exclusive to Japan. DBX One Piece, Odyssey, Super Grand X. It's probably not gonna find it here then, right? Yeah, we're probably not gonna find it here. You said Dragon Ball X One Piece? You said it was a 3DS? 3DS game? No way. One Piece X crossover? This was an actual fucking game. Ha! Was this an actual fucking game? No way. No way. Achieved through compatibility updates developed by Arc System Works. These 2D fighting games allow for local... Oh, shit. I could help with the jump force scaling? Yeah. Just throw up whatever jump force scaling you've got. As well as having some death bypass abilities. I also played a lot. In terms of like not gameplay related stuff, more so in terms of like feats that we can like compare. Okay. Let's keep watching this. Cool. Okay. Okay, just type Gear 4 Luffy versus... Okay. Gear 4 Luffy versus Blue Goku. No way! There's an... There's no fucking way. Okay. Fighting base Resurrection of Goku. Gear 4 clashes with SS Blue. Okay, nothing more scary than a Saiyan with a dog and a horse charms from, Dog and horse charms. Doesn't that, like, just straight up give you immortality when you combine the two of them? Huh. Okay, so Gear 4 clashes with SSB. Let's keep looking at the crossover. Okay, so Luffy's clearly capable of fighting Goku. 10... Oh, yeah, this is still, like, a weaker version of Toriko, right? Yeah, this is still should be, like, a weaker version of Toriko. Oh, it hits you with a delayed effect. Okay, so it wasn't effective. Second gear. Okay, Toriko, Jet. Fork Shield. He's able to knock back Go. What a fierce battle. Not one of them is good. Okay, so yeah, Goku's clearly capable of like... Okay, Goku can clearly keep up with... Goku clearly keeps up with second gear Luffy. Second gear Luffy. Version of Toriko's high unit because he uses the infinite... I don't think that's the version of Toriko up until that point. I don't think that's the version of Toriko that does the infinite nail punch. Luffy and Kaido split the heavens. Heavens transcend Earth. Also mentioned Luffy tanking an SSB Kamehameha. Can tank SSB and tank SSB Kamehameha. Good day, El Millennia. That's funny. I thought you were calling me a millennial for a second. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure, it'd be my pleasure. Guess I'll go all out. That's the spirit. Okay. $18. Elephant. Yeah, he just... Okay. Okay. Kamehameha. Okay, second gear. Luffy and Toriko clash with a Super Saiyan Kamehameha. Okay. They both clash with a Super Saiyan Kamehameha using third gear. Third gear. Okay. Why is Hercules here? You mean Hercule? Hercule Satan? Yeah. Satan wins, by the way. Mr. Satan just fucking won. Mr. Satan really won that shit, bro. Shit is absolutely insane. Okay. So let's skip ahead. They get their meat. Yeah. Alright, so if we click through it... Okay, so there's the beast. There's the Akame. Akame absorbs energy. Uh-huh. Akame can take... Okay. Okay, Akame... Akame appears in the second half. Akame fish appears in the second half. It can tank blows from Sanji, Piccolo, and I forgot what the dude's name was. Toriko's friend right here. Sunny. I think his name was Sunny. Sunny. It absorbs living energy. Okay. Let's see. The beast can hide its key. And opening a beautiful waterfall. I see. The middle Toru. It grew wings. Poison sword. Uh-huh. Go tank sensors the fly. We're about to be pulverized in an instant. What is that? With such an attack, there's nothing against the invincible General Frankie. Short time, I'll make you a quick counterattack. What are you doing? Well, I'm ready for this. Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. Okay, it can deal with Go tanks. Can handle Super Saiyan Go tanks. There's also the Battle of Stadium Dawn, or something which is like an anime character's fighting game. Battle of Stadium? Battle of Stadium Dawn? This is a thing. Huh. I think we might not need this one right here, because this does explicitly... This one would technically be a lower... Wouldn't this one technically fall under like a lower scale than what we're going with anyway? So Jump Force Luffy scales to the Onyx book, which transcends all of the Jump worlds. We'll look into Jump Force in a little bit, but yeah, transcends all in Naruto. They transcend this, and since they transcend this, it would be bare minimum 4D. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's just see what the thing turns into. Supposed to be... This guy feeds. Luffy stamps. Kane, Kamehameha. Capturing complete. Toriko. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's Toriko and Luffy, essentially double nail punch, elephant. Okay, so it's Luffy using elephant Gatling. Okay. Luffy's elephant Gatling. Toriko's twin nail punch. A spirit bomb, and a SS3 Kamehameha to take it down. Okay. So let's look into what else we have. Jump Force. Okay, let's look into Jump Force real quick. Now that we finish this one, let's do Jump Force next. Actually, I think we could just look this one up on YouTube. Jump Force. If I click on it, it should just fucking do it, bro. Jump Force. Let's see, Jump Force, and then let's see, story. What is the story of Jump Force? Let's just get a quick synopsis of what the story is. Story explained. Yeah. Let me grab my headphones. Okay, here we go. Now I can hear. Rewriting it. Okay, wait.
Another video. If you're new to the channel,
Let's just speed this up.
I'm an anime and gaming content creator amongst many things. Stick around. So in this video, Dragon Ball, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza come from the same exact timeline. They come from the 3-part series of Resurrection F. Evidence of that is because we have the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan and Golden Frieza, which was only seen in Resurrection F.
Resurrection F. Jump Force. Jump Force.
One Piece, Luffy, Zoro, Law, and Sabo are all from Dressrosa arc.
Minecraft mod Luffy defeats all versions of SSB Goku. There's a Minecraft version. What do you like consider like gameplay mechanics? Obviously respawning is one of them. For my case, Bannerus can't die without the need to respawn in the middle based on that trait, or does its traits count as gameplay, which makes my research non-viable? I would say that if part of the gameplay is that the character itself cannot die, I would probably say that that doesn't count. I would like to use as little gameplay as possible, because the gameplay itself is irrelevant. Like, I'm not going to say that, like, it's... the reason why I'm actually looking towards the story of Jump Force over everything else, first and foremost, is to get, like, a full understanding so that I can, like, explain and write down exactly what is happening. It's not like... I don't really care, like, if the characters can hurt each other, because obviously within the context of a fighting game, for example, the characters can do that. And, as far as, like, certain video games go... you can even have, it doesn't matter how, like, strong the character is, you can even have, like, I don't know, a random weak ad from, like, the first level still technically hurt them, you know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Memento?
Blackbeard and Ninja episode 38, he used it against the Mist Ninjas. Bleach. Every character in Jump Force.
Jesus Christ, this dude's not even giving me anything to work with. Oh my god, can you just explain what the story is, bruv? Oh, he's explaining the timeline. I don't give a shit about the timeline. The full story explained in 10 minutes. Storyline and lore in 10 minutes. So instead of explaining it, these motherfuckers are basically just throwing out the... Bro. Alright. The embarrassing failure of Jump Force. Alright, Jump Force story synopsis. Let's just look at that. Jump Force story synopsis. Synopsis. Okay, Jump Force story synopsis. Let's see. Gameplay. Premise. Okay, the real worlds collide with many shonen universes. Humanity is invaded by the Venoms, an army of mind-controlled villains led by Kane and Galena. In order to fight back, the heroes must recruit the Jump Force under the leadership of Director Glover and his AI partner, a filthy clanker Navigator. Though a suspicious figure is both the Jump Force and the Venoms. The plot: Frieza attacks New York, an army of Venoms being confronted by Son Goku. Okay, so the story's not even all that long. However, Street Blasts for Frieza fatally wound civilians. Yeah. After an amnesiac girl named Angela is rescued, several Jump Force only become possessed by evil auras during the mission, leading to the Sanji is blatantly blamed. The culprit is revealed to be Angela, who is disguised as an evil Glenna. She steals the collected Umbra cubes. Okay, this is a lot. We call you the father of the bait server since you're absent one. I did see that. Listen, I'm not really a fan of like chatting on Discord. Wait, Jump Force had a story. I used to play with my friends. I would have spent hours being clowned on by my friends for being bad. All of a sudden there was deep lore. Yes, apparently there was deep lore in Jump Force. Yes, there was definitely deep lore in the context of these games. How strong is Composite Luffy? Asks Tynixos. Probably could. Okay, get it. Okay, I get it then. Well, I'm out of things to discuss, I guess. That's fine. One of the few who actually played the story. You actually played through the story. Look up Jump Force R over F scaling. Sure. You want me to look that up on Google or YouTube? Scaling, Jump Force, Goku, not a... Oh. Jump Force, scaling. How strong is Jump Force? Understand. Sure. I'm guessing it's the first thing I should click on. I'm guessing. Okay, basic cosmology of Jump Force is a world of shonen jump and anime. What single characters that Dr. Slump is a part of the Jump Force. Dr. Slump is canon DB. KDB is a shonen, is part of shonen. So to start out, Dr. Slump used Dragon Quest as a game. They are reality over fiction transcendence, and they dwarf the cosmology. Dragon Quest is a verse with realms that are outside concept of time, making Dr. Slump high outer versal. Dr. Slump has infinite loop of outer versal, reality over fiction, transcendence, making Dr. Slump infinite layers into high outer. This alone is cosmology of Jump Force extraversal. So now there's another tier. There's a tier above outer versal. It's called extraversal apparently. Jump Force, Goku scales to Prometheus. Prometheus not only transcends any Jump world and the characters within them, but he also the real world, which views the Jump worlds as fiction. This would mean that it has R over fiction transcendence, making it one layer of extraversal. All of this would make it 2 layers of extraversal since it transcends all. Not a fucking thing, by the way. Yeah, I imagine. I don't think outer versal's a thing either. I think it's just a made-up fucking term too, but holy shit, extraversal's funny. For the speed, it's irrelevant since Kian tamps his body and his action would be irrelevant. Alright, this one was just... Alright, that just lost me. That completely lost me. Yeah, no, that entirely fucking lost me. Let's go back to this real quick. Clark states that the manga worlds from Jump have somehow begun merging with the real world and using their own Umbra cubes to turn the evil-hearted humans into Venoms, forcing him to create the Jump Force in order to quell the Jump worlds along with save through these cubes. Alright. So within Jump Force, the characters from Jump are... It said they are merged with the real world. Forcing to create Jump. Explain that the manga worlds of Jump are somehow begun to merge with the real world. The manga worlds, the characters from Jump, the characters and manga worlds from Jump are merging with the real world. Merging with the real world. So this does imply like reality over the cosmology is super duper turbo neo ultra uber prefix versal. A lot of terms and scaling made up. They just get extra nerdy for me. Yeah. Are you have to say Luffy scales to the Onyx book, which transcends all the meta worlds, which contains Dr. Slump, which goes under reality over fiction multiple layers, which is layers into outer versal. I don't know, man. That just sounds weird. Composite scaling is just that tedious, I suppose. Like, I know versus battle writing. By the way, do you guys understand why I don't do composite characters now? Like, this is one of the reasons why I just don't care for the concept of composite characters. Because, like, now you have, like, oh, well, technically if you do a composite version of the characters, there's technically, like, this one thing from another series, and there's something from that series that connects to that then connects to this other thing, that connects to that thing, that now, like, because one thing connected to this other series that connects to this thing, that then technically does connect into Dragon Ball, which technically connects to One Piece because of Jump Force. Now you have, like, 15 fucking layers. This is why I hate, this is why I hate composite characters. Oh, man. I figured, like, I do, like, a quick, I feel like I do I kind of wanted to do this in part because I was like, you know, how genuinely bad could it be if I really do just sit down? Wow, they really had Luffy be the king of betas. They really made Luffy lead the betas. Along with Boa By the way, who the fuck wanted Boa Hancock to be in this fuck-ass game? Sanji, Boruto, and later Vegeta, Piccolo, Zoro, and Gaara. Huh. Why the fuck wanted Gaara in this game? This shit was just the big three verses. Let me look up J Star Victory versus. J Star Victory versus. Let's see what the fucking plot of this game was. By the way, clearly this is okay. The game's J Adventure takes place in Jump World, an amalgamation of different characters' universes. As the story begins, the characters preparing for the Jump Battle Tournament, a fighting competition organized by the god of Jump World, who promised to grant the wishes of the team that wins. The narrative is split between 4 different arcs, each focusing on different teams exploring Jump World, gathering more teammates to compete, working to achieve their own personal goals. The dynamic focuses on Monkey D, Luffy, Portkis D, Ace, and Seiya. The Hope arc on Naruto, Yusuke, and Gon Frisch, and investigates on Toriko, Zebra, Goku. And the pursuit arc is Ichigo, Tatsumi, Oga, and Hiei. Outer is really easy to understand once you get using interacting the tiers and more and more. Yeah, but then to say that, like, you can't say the extraversal's a thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, at this point, if I just say omniversal, or if I just say omniversal is stronger than everything else, like, who the fuck's gonna tell me no, right? They're just made up terms at the end of the day. To progress, each team defeats tournament examiners to acquire upgrades for their ships so they can reach the arena. They also acquire additional allies. Okay. Let's just type in J-Star Victory versus real quick. Let's just take this one out immediately. I don't think Burning Blood is going to probably scale anything higher than this, because Burning Blood is basically just a retelling. We already got the Jump Force stuff, and we'll do the SBS. Luffy allegedly erases Oda's writing. Extras aren't official terms. Neither is Outerversal. It's not an official term either. Again, all made up shit, dude. Luffy upscaled from Medaka box. Isn't Medaka in J-Star Victory versus? Isn't Medaka in this game? She is! Holy shit! No way. Are you also gonna use Snitcher? What the hell is Snitcher in your composite scaling too? What the hell is Snitcher? Don't forget Enel versus Goku. That's right, Enel versus Goku. Let me look that one up real quick. This is just so over the place, bro. Enel versus Goku harming End of Boo Goku, but he couldn't harm him. Enel versus Goku. Oh yeah. He's the main antagonist of One Piece Premiere Show 2025. Goku. Enel just straight up fights Goku in some promotional work. Enel fights Post Z Goku in a... What is this, a promotional work? Crossover? In a promotional crossover. The only version of Enel I found was butt quality. Yeah, I found a Snitchers from the One Piece stage play. He can reverse anything. He's basically Giorno. Okay, One Piece stage play Snitcher. One Piece premiere show. Jesus Christ. Short summary, mysterious figure. A mysterious figure, Snitcher, lures the Cross Guild. Oh, wait. You said... Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 2025. So, yeah, this is Cross Guild. It was only a year away or two from adding MASH. Would have had more peak. To be honest, though, with, like, when it comes to MASH, well, here's my 2 cents in the commercial for Bounty Rush. Luffy is showing the ability to affect the real world by making people do that eye-popping thing. Okay, see, that works. See, that works, Han. That definitely works. One Piece... Bounty Rush. You said it was in a commercial? Commercial. Was it this one? Wow. No way! Alright. Alright, see, that works. Tell me. Let me tell you which one I should. It should be. Yeah. I got you. I think we found it. Bounty Rush. Luffy makes real world people's eyes pop out of their. People's eyes pop out of their head. I haven't felt so proud before. Thank you. No, thank you. That was great. Anything that has to do with Gear 5 Luffy, I absolutely love. Even if it's just a stupid commercial. Alright, let's see. Eyes pop out. He makes real people's eyes pop out. Yeah. The planet is multi-solar to galaxy. Galaxy level in L, I suppose. Oh, the meme is real. Look up the meme about One Piece having galaxy-sized planet. One Piece galaxy-sized planet. You said there was a video, right? One Piece... galaxy-sized planet meme. I'm crying. Somebody with planets instead of islands, I'm crying. The sun. The Naruto / Boruto planet. And then there's this. The planet... I'm crying. I'm fucking weak. Okay. So this does... Oh, it does connect it to Dr. Slump. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah. Jump Force. Okay, so wait, what was the plot of Jump Force? Withdrawing, attacking civilians, created by Dr. Glover. To quell the hearts of people. The organization consists of heroes from Jumper along with people saved from the cubes. The group is divided into Alpha. Yeah. The new hero who serves the game's player is asked to join the division to help repel the invasion. Like Yagami, whose Death Note lost its power by merging the worlds, is also joined secretly intent on restoring it. Discover that the heroes are being mind-controlled by the Umbra Recruits charged with evil energy. They free the heroes and recruit them, taking the cubes for inspection, while the recruits join one of the 3 divisions. Team Alpha is joined by Ichigo Kurosaki, Rukia Renji. Okay, so, damn, Pharaoh, Tem, and Asta. Team Beta is run by Drodo Kuro, Kenshiro, Ryu Saibe, Kenshin, Kurapika, Izuku Midori. You know what's crazy? Just Team B alone would be... Listen, I like Goku, I like Piccolo, Zoro, and I mean, Gaara's a fine enough character. I like Luffy, I like Sanji, and Vegeta, and Boa Hancock, and Boruto are fine. Naruto, Sasuke, Trunks, Sabo would probably be, like, the strongest team, even if I'm not playing as Luffy. I think the part that pisses me off is that, like, Team B gets Jotaro, but it also gets these other guys that I don't genuinely care for. And I guess if I ever played the game... Team Gamma would probably be the one that I go with. Killua, I don't care about any of these other guys. Jesus Christ. It's like the teams are just constructed of so many characters I could genuinely give less than 2 shits about. Holy fuck. And just the fact that Team Alpha is filled with so many Bleach characters, even if it has got, like, Tem and Asta. I might even just pick Alpha based on, like, the extra characters that they get. But, like, fuck, that would also mean I'd have to, at some point, play as Ichigo. Ew. Duplicates of the jump villains made of the dark Umbra cubes also appear along with the real ones, adding the confusion, including Frieza, Blackbeard, Kaguya, Tsutsuki. So yeah. She's a girl. She steals the collected Umbra cubes, gives them to her master Kane. A man seeking to wipe out humanity in revenge for the death of his family. Yeah, sure, I'll wipe out all humanity because my family died. The player pursues and defeats Kane, but Glover reveals himself as Prometheus, the true mastermind behind the merging of the worlds. Galena's true master. Okay. Having used Kane to sow chaos across the world, having outlived his usefulness, Galena seemingly kills Kane, proceeds to stall the heroes and allow Prometheus to continue his plans. The heroes defeat Galena only for Prometheus to absorb her afterwards. Okay, so... Prometheus. Let's go back here. Where's the J-Star Victory? There's the Jump Force stuff. Prometheus merged the worlds. Galena. Galena kills Kane. Kills Kane, then is absorbed by Prometheus. Even if Jump Force gets you guys and getting the job done. I know the game was criticized because it spoiled everything about the series that crossed over. I don't know if it really spoiled everything about the series. Did it really? What about Luffy from the one Dragon Ball mobile game where they were crossover during the Dressrosa arc? If you can find what that was called, we can throw that in. If there was evidence, I'd find it outrageously hilarious, but if not, okay. Wait, can we consider the One Piece cards? If you want to consider One Piece cards, I don't know how the hell the cards are going to work, but if you can give me some reasoning for the cards, we can throw that in. Absorbed by Prometheus. Galena kills... Yeah, absorbed by Prometheus. The heroes confront Prometheus, who reveals himself to be a key man charged with showing the real world the stories of Jump. Prometheus is a key man. Prometheus is a key man charged with showing the real world stories of Jump, but grew tired of humanity's vices and attempts to merge the real world in order to guide humanity in the right direction. He steals the player's cube for its good energy, planning to use it to balance the evil energy collected to become a god. The villains form a temporary truce with the hero. Still alive, Kane uses the last of his strength to give his cube to the player, and Goku empowers them further with the energy of all Jump Forces to allow them to destroy Prometheus. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Okay. Whoa. Let's not do it like that. Paste without formatting. It was the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan. Okay, let's look that one up real quick. However, Prometheus' death does not separate the realities, leaving the Earth still under the threat of the Jump villains. At Strunk's suggestion, the player character becomes the new Jump Force director and continues to protect humanity. Meanwhile, Light finds the Umber crew left from behind Prometheus, planning to use dark energy to repower his Death Note. Okay, so the worlds are still merged. Okay, cool. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan or Dokkan? Dokkan. That's right. There was this. Oh yeah, Dokkan Battle, right? So what was it again? X One Piece was it? Yeah, they had a crossover campaign. Okay. There is a crossover campaign. There is a crossover campaign upscaling. Why are all of the fucking like crossovers that we see have some kind of relationship with goddamn Dragon Ball, bro? Like, I get it, bro. Like, I get it, right? Like, okay, Oda was a fan of Kishimoto's work, blah, 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 blah. Not Kishimoto. Toriyama's work. Oda was a fan of Toriyama's work. Luffy's like a successor to Goku or whatever. We gotta make everything just a comparison between Goku and... Not even a comparison, just everything has gotta be like a crossover between fucking Dragon Ball. How many of these things were fucking crossovers to Dragon Ball? You had the Toriko X One Piece X Dragon Ball. Mission 9 is Goku. Jump Force is also just thing with Dragon Ball. J-Star's Victory, obviously, with Dragon Ball. There's the fight here with Goku. Like, DB Dokkan Battle. Dokkan Battle has a special event with Dofi where the player must defeat him using the cast. Probably because they're both anime from Toei, so there's less legal issues. True! It's because both are Toei. You know what? You guys are right. Shit. I'm sorry, I got a little too emotional. My apologies. I got a little too emotional. I shouldn't have. I should have considered that it was from Toei. All right. J-Star Victory versus Massive Jump. Massive Jump Worlds crossover where they join teams in order to win a tournament by, what was it again? They had to win a tournament so that the god of Jump Worlds, so the god of Jump Worlds can grant them a wish. Together, warriors to perform the Dark Phantoms, an evil force capable of impersonating strong fighters using key efforts of bravery, bravery, and friendship. The heroes travel to the Dark Phantoms world and seal them away. The Dark Phantoms defeated, all the heroes are offered a wish. They collectively wish to have another tournament so they can fight again and get stronger. Granted, the god of the Jump World rewards the heroes of the feast. You versus the god of Jump Worlds. Curb Stomp. Curb Stomp on my end. Bobozo's in Jump Force and he's the strongest in Shonen. I guess. Actually, holy shit, he is in here. What else do we have in here? Beelzebub? You guys ever read the story Beelzebub? I really liked this as a kid. Is not in Jump Force? Yeah. Bobobo is in Jump Force. In J-Star Victory. Bobobo. Bo. Is it Bobobo? Bobo. Bobo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I got it right. I knew how to write. Yo. It is like, that's J-Star, not Jump Force. Yeah, that's J-Star. Bobo is in this game. Is in this game. So massive upscale. Is in this game so massive upscale reality. Since he can warp reality through gags. By the way, when people say shit about like Bugs Bunny, like, you know, changing the fucking confines of time and space to like, or reality to defeat his opponents, I feel like they're just talking about Bobo, and they don't even fucking know it. Supporting characters. Yeah. Tell him to get Madara to country level. But can I justify Foxy beating Madara? A friend of mine drew a comic of it, and I just want to justify the line. Should have worn the afro, Madara Uchiha. Okay, so we got Rayleigh. J-Star Victory versus also has a Rayleigh in it. Doesn't, you said that Dr. Slump, they find, have a go on Sornum. Do we have anything else before we start moving into like the One Piece movies? And ironically, most Fraudera fans can't get him to country. I mean, it's not really possible, right? Okay, let's check out the movie. Oh yeah, Unlimited World Red. Unlimited World Red. One Piece. Unlimited. How you doing? World Red. Story synopsis. Okay. Story begins with Garps and Goku discussing a pirate named Red Count Redfield, a man who has the same level as Whitebeard and Roger in their primes, albeit less notorious. Okay, so Patrick Redfield. Let's take Unlimited World Red. Patrick Redfield literally created the sun when he just waved his hand, and that dude was overpowered by aged Luffy. Yeah. 1 second. We will write that down in just a second. I'm just going to separate this real quick. Beelzebub, Black Clover reference. Actually, technically, Black Clover would be referencing Beelzebub or anything since it came out first. Beelzebub came out years before Black Clover. Are scaling Rainbow Mist Arc? I heard it was some weird time scaling. Rainbow Mist Arc in what? One Piece? Oh, a mysterious time-distorting pocket dimension figure featured in the non-canon. Inside, time stands still and trapped inhabitants do not age, housing a group of trapped youths called the Pumpkin Pirates and Ruined Ship Graveyard. A quick 5-minute rundown of the events. Huh. So that technically, are you making a video about this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not making a video about this at all. But I did think it would be fun to have you guys like discuss something that isn't just Naruto versus Luffy for the 75th billionth time. I guess I would need full context of it. All right.
He confirmed 1 minute that opens with the Straw Hats getting chased by Rapa Nui Pascla and his fleet of 9 marine ships. Pascla throws his finger bomb coin and wipes out most of the pirates, then sneezes and nails a marine ship instead. Nami calls for everyone to speed ahead, steps in, and Luffy, powered by hunger.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest with you. Girls with like a mousy voice like this, it's like grating to my ears. It is grating to my ears. No offense to her. It's not obviously not something she can control or whatever. But like, whenever I hear a girl talk like this, I don't know. It just makes me cringe. It's like the voice is just too ooh woo for me. I'm gonna speed the shit the fuck up. I can't listen to her talk for much longer than like 2 minutes. That's what I remember. Anyway, don't quote me.
Hunger charges through and runs over both the tax guy and Sanji. Usopp and Robin meet Henzo, who's obsessed with a rainbow mist, and over food he gets roasted for stealing tax money. The tax squad storms in, taxes everyone mid-meal, and Usopp ends up paying for Luffy's spaghetti spree. Meanwhile, Sanji fights the Dynamo Squad's electric armor, gets shocked twice, then uses the ultimate tactic: run away and yank their armor off with a wire. A galleon suddenly appears at the harbor. Henzo rushes to it, and the crew the land of eternity, where no one ages and treasure is a ship graveyard. Robin says it's a land of eternity, where no one ages and treasure is everywhere. So Luffy instantly grabs a chest. A spooky voice threatens a curse, ghosts appear, and an arrow nearly hits Zoro. But Luffy exposes the ghosts as kids. Rapa Nui calls them the Pumpkin Pirates and threatens a bomb. Henzo proves he knows them with his fake Kaboom Mark III, and they vanish in smoke. In Reluca, Sanji's tax fight ends when Lake takes a coin as payment, but Mayor Wetton forbids entering Mist. The episode opens with a dream. The Pumpkin Pirates swimming toward treasure while young Henzo lags behind. Rapa Nui tells him he can't join. They're kids. He's an adult. Henzo suddenly shifts to his old self and jolts awake. Robin notes he was calling his friends in his sleep. Outside, Luffy and the crew realize Abe's concert is looping space. They pass the same statue twice. A cannon test confirms distortion, and Luffy understands by launching himself into the sky and landing behind the ship. Mystery Mist ends the tension. A Denden Mushi call reveals Wetton is connected to the mist. Back in Reluca, in front of them.
I don't know if I can necessarily use this. It's like time doesn't flow within, or at least like time to the point where like it ages you doesn't flow within that area. It's kind of weird. A cannonball that destroyed the Rainbow Mist Arc, which is a universe, I think.
Close to reconciling.
We'd have to watch the whole thing to get like.
Sky portal, grabs Rapa Nui and vanishes again. Classic captain behavior. Robin realizes the mist's time is distorted. Outside, Nami faces a Sea King while Wetton charges 10 million belly like it's DLC access. She dives in anyway. Ian escapes again. Chaos everywhere. Sanji gets cooked. Chopper fumbles. The Rainbow Tower crashes into the mist. Wetton invades Abe's concert, laughing like a final boss. The Going Merry finally escapes the Rainbow Mist, but it comes out looking like it got run through a blender. Everyone's alive, but the ship definitely needs therapy. Back in Reluca, Mayor Wetton's little treasure speedrun ends instantly when a squad of powerful marines shows up and arrests him. Bro really thought he could tax and threaten his way through a dimensional portal. The twist: those marines aren't random. They're older versions of Henzo's old friends, the Pumpkin Pirates kids. When the Rainbow Mist collapses, it doesn't just spit people out, it yeets them through time. Turns out the crew didn't just escape a fog, they escaped a time machine with attitude.
That was so weird. That was so weird. Maybe.
After I did my video on Wii Tanks, which did really well, by the way. Thanks to everyone who checked it out. Or at least most people.
That was so weird. So, like, they were going through portals. Yeah, that was strange. That was 100% AI. I feel like her voice was 100% AI. This person.
Powered by hunger, charges through and.
This video came out 2 months ago. That was a time machine with attitude is the most ChatGPT coded shit I've ever heard. Not even just a voice. I see. Anyway. I don't think I'm going to use this. I don't know if it necessarily works. Okay. So, Patrick Redfield. Redfield is stated by Garp to be as powerful as Roger and Whitebeard in their prime. Look at her banner. Yeah, I peeped the banner. Who was released by Blackbeard during the raid and impelled down. He's called the Red Aloof due to his presence to preference to work alone. This occurs while Red is attacking a fleet of marine battleships with Aokiji and Smoker seemingly assisting him despite what's going on. Red confirms that he's working alone. Then he realized that he misplaced something. The scene changes to Straw Hats approaching the island of Promises the island village of Transtown, which is a companion to Pato. Pato, a pen that can become a tanuki. That's right, this guy, Pato. Shows the ability to create any object he writes on a leaf by creating a telescope. He is repaying the favor by being fished up and rescued by the Straw Hats by bringing them to the island, dubbed by Luffy as having a great center of great adventures. Pato intends to separate with them on the island to meet someone. The Straw Hats split into groups, resupply, going into town. Nami tells them to rendezvous at the local inn. While exploring, sees a woman being harassed by thugs who expect payment, protecting the island despite never being requested to do so. Luffy intervenes, beats up the thugs. The woman, Yadoya, oh, that's right, her. Wood, filled with cream. Maybe it's 40-year-old guy in mom's basement. Checked out the calc myself. I just saw a lot of people using it. Shouldn't matter if it's mistaken. Juby gets damaged more. Ah! Explorer Yadoya treats her to a meal. Kidnap. After Luffy wakes up, Pato hurriedly appears and he realizes what Luffy just saw, prompting him to rescue them. It reveals that it appears to travel to what appears to be Punk Hazard, which Luffy vaguely remembers. He encounters and defeats the same dragon that he and Zoro killed before, but it disappeared before Luffy can eat it. After traversing through the fire and ice sides of the island, he and Pato encounter Caesar Clown. He engages them with the smiley, but is defeated. Pato discovers, Next morning, the four of them set sail. Alubarna, Chopper, Sea Train discuss the next moves. They sound to the Sea Train. Upon arrival, shows up explaining that he is. The Tower of Justice defeat Lucci exactly where Luffy did 2 years ago. On the defeat, announces his power was given to him by a certain man and he prevented Luffy from leaving the island. He disappears in a puff of smoke, leaving behind a leaf. Though this decided, they deduced the Pato as the source of the enemies, as the reason Straw Hats have been disappearing. They also manage, at the beginning of the end, Pato lets it slip that his boss is responsible for the kidnappings, but he cannot disclose his motives. However, he agrees to take them to his boss to find out, and they show remorse for deceiving the Straw Hats, but explains that his boss which he willfully carries out without a question. Okay. The group makes finds at Fishman Island. Yeah. Chopper suggests Pato joins the Straw Hats. He's about Zoro, but Red effortlessly knocks them out. Okay, Red reveals that he created the surroundings of the enemies in the Straw Hats with the hearts that achieve the goal of becoming a Pirate King. Luffy and Zoro attack in response, and then Red effortlessly knocks them away. Let's just look up the cutscenes, right? One Piece Unlimited World Red cutscenes. Hey, what's up, Drake? My Universal Fan Fest was great. Yeah. I'm happy. You did seem like you were having a lot of fun. I'm really happy that you enjoyed that, dude. I really am happy you enjoyed that. Also, you see the super lucky picture I got with Nami? I did. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm so happy for you. Either way, Clanker detected. Yeah. Okay, did you mean to say that? Yo, I remember this. I remember playing this game. Yeah, that were some based photos. Yeah, I agree. Damn. What is it about a woman wearing glasses with her hair up in a bun with those bangs? I don't know. Something about a woman with glasses, bangs, and a bun that just... Fuck, man. Wood fill with copious amounts of cream. Okay. Let's see. Looks like a wooden doll. You look like a wooden doll. Been playing with us like rats in a maze. Time of his name was spoken in the same breath as those of Whitebeard and Roger. I want what's on your hat. He's always been very perceptive. Beat a man to keep me up at night. By touching you like this, I can even reach even deeper into you. I created this fish island and the opponents you face this far by inscribing your hearts on leaves. Okay. The tools at my disposal. For relative newcomers, you've seen a lot of carnage. Quite a wonderful gift, really. Okay. Speaking of, he created the worlds they have been traversing through. Why are the models so clean? They are very clean models. This is one of the things where I say that, like, dude, a One Piece game with like a One Piece game with cell shaded characters would go absolutely fucking hard in my opinion. On more prominent individuals like Neptune, Vivi, and Dalton. What are you up to, old man? I'll rip straight through your heart. Street Fighter type One Piece fighting game. See, so when you guys asked me, I think it was like, what is cell shading? It's this type of style. It's this type of style where you essentially see like different layers of like, you essentially see like different layers of coloring that essentially boil down to replicate an anime style of, an anime style artwork. An example of this, if you guys have ever played it, is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Yeah, the Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker also has this style. You see where it's like, it offers the opportunity to make characters not only a lot more fluid and cartoony, but the cel-shaded art style also offers large, vibrant, drastic color changes that are more consistent with like, let's say manga and cartoon paneling. Also, Aura. So, spoilers before I say this. Yeah. There was a question that somebody asked me last week about like what kind of like a One Piece game would I like, and that's why I said a low to the ground Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dragon Ball Fighter Z style, however the fuck, a 2D style cell shaded fighter. It's the best way to not only make the characters appear. It's not only the best way to make the characters have 3D models while replicating a 2D style artwork, but it's also a way to have a game that not only will be supported for a long time, and it will be supported for a long time, have fighting game fans that will continue to play it for a long time, and it ultimately shows that a One Piece game can work. Luffy and an Ace Illusion defeated an Illusion Akainu, and while exhausted after using Gear 4, I assume he managed to punch Count Red across a good distance. Does Luffy even have Gear 4 in this game? I don't recall Luffy using it. I would love an Elder Scrolls style game. An Elder Scrolls style game wouldn't be bad, but I think that the issue is that like it's a bit of a daunting task. The term I think is 2.5D. Yeah, a 2.5D fighter. Yeah. I feel like, here's the thing. I understand where people come from when they want, like, a One Piece game that essentially becomes Assassin's Creed Odyssey style game. Like the Assassin's Creed style Odyssey game where, like, you make the character, you go through a complete original story, lots of ship combat, all that stuff. I think the problem with a game that goes along this Elder Scrolls style, Assassin's Creed Odyssey style is that it's too big, right? And I think the perspective that One Piece needs a game like that isn't even remotely bad. I would agree that a game of the sort where it's like an actual pirating game where you get to go to different islands, and sometimes, depending on where you are on the Grand Line, you might be attacked by other common pirates, or you might run, or depending on what area you go to, or what island you go to, it might be more covered with Marines, etc. You know, like maybe even have like, I don't know, 15 islands throughout the game, and out of those 15 islands, you can go through, like, different iterations or, like, different style of islands. I get that. I would say that a game like that would be amazing. But the problem is, with a game like that, is that it's way too ambitious. It's way too ambitious, and just using the building blocks of other games just, I don't think would be enough. Right? The reason why I say that a 2D style fighting game for One Piece would work is because it is a way for One Piece to be seen, not only for One Piece to earn a game that can be considered not only predominantly good, it would also be a game that gets a ton of support, and then hopefully they would want to. I want another World Seeker, just not ass. Yeah, World Seeker was a good example of like how you can make One Piece have like a like a closed open world style game where like Luffy can like move around, jump around, and like fly around and stuff like that. But that's the problem. Right? It's like translating all of those things, not just for Luffy, but for every other Straw Hat. You would need to essentially give all the Straw Hats, either you play as Luffy alone, or you play as your own original character, or you play as all the Straw Hats, but then how do you give them all movement options? Nami, even if we want to argue all the crazy shit for her, isn't the type of character that does anything but run. She doesn't have any, like, crazy mobility options. You might be able to say she can use Zeus, but what about Robin, right? Is she going to start swinging around from places? I mean, sure, but then what about Usopp, right? Like, so on and so forth. Frankie, are you just going to have him, like, fart around everywhere? Or are you just going to have Frankie, I don't know, just do super robot jumps? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that would have to go into it. Odyssey was just way too fucking easy. You know what's crazy? I still have Odyssey. Everyone agrees that Skyrim is shit, but it's mine. Many other people's most played game. Heck, I'm gonna play it after this shift. I think One Piece deserves that kind of a generational love. I agree that it deserves generational love. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I think that the level of ambition that we're kind of looking for, especially with like a big open world style thing, whether it's Straw Hats or whether it's us playing with like new characters, I think just the overall issue is that, like, how do you fit all of that into a game? I mean, we've seen it before with like games like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. And I mean, you could maybe argue something like with Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, where like, yeah, they did something very similar, but also remember that Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker also has like very low to the ground combat, right? Like the combat's slow, slow-ish, right? It's basically just block and then press A when it indicates. The islands aren't always that big besides like the big dungeon locations, you know what I mean? It's like, I have a hard time seeing a game like this be created. I generally have a hard time seeing a game like this be created, you know? So I try to, like, lower down my expectations for how a game like this could even look. I have a toxic love/hate relationship with Skyrim. I love the game, but can't defend it when it gets called out, but it always have it in my library. Yeah, no. And you know what? I think that's a good way of looking at it, right? You can love something, but you can also, like, say, like, yeah, it does have these issues. I have that thing with many of the games that I play, in general. World Seeker was this close to doing it, but the execution was just terrible, with little to nothing going on besides a very repetitive moveset. The vision was there, just not the talent. Yeah, I feel like with many of these games, if you take the idea of like a basis of like Worlds of like Seeker, if you take like the idea of a game like World Seeker and then see, okay, what issues did every review, that every person that have an issue with it, that all the forums have, and then how can we improve upon that, expand on that, right? Can we open up on new character suggestions, right? Like Zoro as a character, I'm not saying he's slow or anything, but like I also don't see Zoro performing lots of acrobatic moves while like trying to move around, you know what I mean? Like, I see Luffy more so swinging around. I see Luffy, like, using rocket to, like, propel himself around. But with Zoro, it's, like, it's him either running on the ground or, like, you know, doing, I guess, like, Superman-style movement. Where, like, he's, like, just taking, like, huge jumps. Ever consider the idea of a One Piece Souls-like in terms of combat? A One Piece Souls-like in terms of combat, I don't know if that would work. I would have to see something like it. Because with with Souls games, it's very methodical and low-to-the-ground combat, right? Like, you might be able to say, but, like, what's low-to-the-ground about, like, I don't know, the Radon, Holy Flash of Light attack, where, like, he basically blasts the entire screen, sure, but what I'm saying is, most of the attacks are just basically grounded swing, swing, swing. You have to be able to interpret and dodge all of those attacks or block them, right? That doesn't really... I don't know if like that necessarily translates to something that One Piece does. A Breath of the Wild style One Piece game, lots of puzzles and island exploration. Yeah, but then you also run into the issue of like Breath of the Wild again being a very slow-paced game that you take your own pace, and I don't know if that necessarily follows like the One Piece style, you know what I mean? If Odyssey had way more intricate combat and Nami and Brook weren't game-breaking, Odyssey would have been a really solid game. I think that's fair. I mean, seriously, how can you make a One Piece open world game and have nothing burger of an open world? Generational fumble. I see what you mean. One Piece Souls-like, but your normal Navy... what officer fighting Gear 5 Luffy. Ah, yes. Instead of being a pirate, they put you as a Navy soldier, and you're slowly becoming more and more powerful as you fight all of the threats. It's nothing more than propaganda by Emu. Was like E3, it would have probably been the best anime game to exist. I mean, comparing any game that came out before Expedition 33 to Expedition 33 is kind of nutty. Don't get me wrong, actually, though. I would say a One Piece RPG that was more like Expedition 33. I think it's possible. I just don't think that, like, there is a vision for it right now. I don't think that there is an optimal vision for it right now. The only two One Piece games I think are great are Burning Blood and Pirate Warriors. The thing about Pirate Warriors is that, like, once you play the Pirate Warrior games, you kind of play them all. I mean, that's not entirely true. The Pirate Warrior games all play somewhat differently, but I mean, it is just play the character you like, find the move that hits most people at once, and then you just kind of blitz through the whole story. I mean, that's what I did. After some point, I realized that, like, as fun as Gear 4, Luffy, Bounce Man, and Snake Man were, I felt like Luffy can just run through mobs a lot fucking easier than those two characters anyway. Like, just the mobility was just weird. But yeah, I never liked the idea of, like, including sky characters, though. I never understood that. Like, flying sky characters for One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 kind of ruined it for me. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go get some water. I forgot to fill up my bottle. Okay. Elden Ring had a lot of unique ways to avoid damage. You can make combat geared towards whacking unique dodges and blocks. I guess at that point it would be more like of a DMC game. A DMC game wouldn't be bad. I don't think a DMC game would be bad. I mean, it depends on how fast. Is the last boss of World Seeker's evil Iron Man with Sea Stone? I don't recall. I never saw the ending of the game. Wow, to think that the best One Piece game ever released was a Zelda game. Love Wind Waker. Yeah, I tried playing a little bit of it on the GameCube online thing. A One Piece open world game has to be one of those games that takes a decade to make. It needs to be open and full of events, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2. In a sense that the game world is just as lively as the manga. And I think that's the problem, right? That it's a game that has absolutely way too much ambitions. Speaking of game rumors, will be able to pre-order GTA 6 soon? Good for the people that want to get it. I'm not interested in GTA 6. I don't really get... You know what the thing is? I've never understood, like, the overall appeal for GTA. You're basically just a person running around in a world and you're just fucking around, just killing people and doing shit. Like, I never understood, like, the full point of it. Like, I get that they all have their own, like, narratives and stories and stuff like that, but I've never been a person who necessarily cares about that kind of shit, at least from, like, my video games. Like... I don't know. I remember the most of a story I ever played in was GTA 5, and and I never even finished GTA 5's story. The only thing I would get GTA 6 for is the online, and if at any point, like, the game is on sale and I can play with my friends online, I'll just fucking cop it online, dude. I'm not playing the story. I would literally buy the game just to play online with friends. I would never sit down and actually play the story. It's as long as and you know what? I'll even say it right now. As long as GTA 6 doesn't force you to go through a fucking story mission every single time. Doesn't force you to go through a story mission before you actually even get to go online in the first place. I think I might even consider it. But like, if GTA 6 comes out and I have to fucking play through the story before I have to play online, yes, let us enjoy our mindless fun. Not everything is deep, Mr. Bleach fan. It doesn't have to be bleach. It doesn't have to be deep at all. I'm just like, yo, GTA is just drive around with cars and just fucking shoot people and cause mayhem and havoc and mayhem, bro. Like, that's the thing, though. It's like, for me, it's less about like, oh, GTA. Why do people like GTA in general? It's more so like, Jesus Christ, people go crazy for GTA, and I just don't get it. I just don't get what the overall mass appeal of it is. I mean, the same things that get Comp Luffy get Comp Naruto, right? Most of it is just Jump Force. Okay. So, traversing... They've been traversing through... We did the Unlimited World, right? Yeah, the issue with most devs, they don't put the same effort. They hindered... and/or are hindered by higher-ups compared to what Oda has done with world-building. Games don't compare. They couldn't, but they don't. The other thing, well, that's the thing, though. A lot of that, what happens inside of video games is also, like, politicking from, like, the higher-ups, right? They give you a budget, they give you a time frame, and they want to see results, right? I find it really fucked up in general that, like, a bunch of suits are the ones deciding what... Can you breathe air if you eat a fish Zoan before achieving a hybrid form? Ask Kaido. You should ask Kaido that. And also, GTA 6 hype is just memes at this point. I know it's just memes at this point, but, like, no, like, a lot of people are really willing to say, like, I have a friend of mine who doesn't buy video games on release. My friend also is the type of guy that doesn't often buy video games at all unless he's really willing to put time into it. Bro, this man said, I don't care if GTA 6 is $100, I'm buying it day one. I'm like, yo, it does have a stranglehold on some people. It's like Call of Duty or like Pokemon, where like some of these games just have a stranglehold on some people. They just want to spend their money on it. And you know what? That's fine. Have you seen the Subnautica 2 situation? What's the Subnautica 2 situation? I remember years ago with like Subnautica, what was it? Like Sub-Zero, people had an issue because the main character was a black woman, I think it was. Was it that? I don't know if it was an issue. I just remember seeing like some comments on people on social media like, saying like, oh, my character, she's not meant to talk. My character was never meant to talk in the original Subnautica. Why am I hearing this person's voice? It's removing my suspense from the game, or whatever the fuck those guys were going on about. Yeah, no. The issue with gaming, I feel like as a whole, is that the people that put the money into the games are usually the ones that want to see a profit turn out right away. And I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of crazy. People are just stupid for such complaints. I know they're stupid for such complaints. It's also kind of racist, but whatever. I feel like just the biggest issue with, like, again, a fully open world style One Piece game like Elden Ring, like Odyssey, like Wind Waker, is just developing all the islands to have not only massive scale, but to also have them in such a way where not only can traversing through them be fun, to have things in the water and in the ocean and outside of the ocean to be fun, but you also then have to, if you give multiple character options, in this case Luffy, Zoro, etc., you have to essentially make it so that each character is viable in their own ways. You have to make it so that not only are the characters viable, they're also useful, they're also enough of a variety in gameplay where you cannot... where you, as a player, essentially can play it whatever way you want. I've had a discussion with this about this from before. What makes games fun, in my opinion, is choice. If a player has the choice to, like, play the game beyond, like, the, let's say, the most basic style of combat, and the developers see this and also give the player every single tool necessary to do so, I think it genuinely creates the best games possible. Also, can you please tell me why we're able to tell me... also, can you please tell me if you will be able to tell how much did you scale Comp Luffy, Leslie, in the next stream after finishing this one? Sure. I don't know if we're on the Composite Luffy conversation anymore. We just seem to be talking about video games. Before Zero was just mid. Below Zero was just mid, but the company that owns the devs tried to sabotage him to not pay out a $250 million deal. Huge legal drama over the last few years. Really? That's fascinating. Is absolutely heat. I've been addicted to it since launch. Highly recommended. I did like Subnautica 1. I might try, and I did get Subnautica Below Zero for free, so I might, from like the PS Plus, I might do that. From my understanding, the CEO promised a big bonus to his employees if he reached a certain goal, and then he sabotaged the game so it wouldn't reach the goal. That's crazy. What is Composite DBS Goku? Anime and manga? Composite DBS Goku would be those two, and you can technically throw in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I guess you could throw in. Alright. Pato reveals Reddit is after a certain devil fruit hoping to prove useful to Luffy. Decided, Shindora, Gigantic, Pacifista, Meteor Volcano, Enraged Luffy, fight Akainu. Akainu and the other two brothers. Pato wonders how Ace is able to act on his own. Robin believes that due to their bond show during the previous fight, under their respective fire fists, the brothers emerge victorious. Ace finally disappears, this time leaving behind a leaf. Decides he'll try his hardest for Luffy like Ace did, which Luffy encourages. He holds a devil fruit in his hand, the Bato Bato no Mi model vampire, which promptly consumes, claiming to have abandoned his last weakness, his humanity. He kicks Pato away into a building. Angry Luffy retaliates, but Red dodges. Okay, let's just keep looking at this. Crafton, who owns Unknown Worlds, the devs use ChatGPT in court to justify the sabotage and firing all the main devs. They are back, though, luckily. Good! Ben, I hate scaling powers, but I love power scaling. At this point, we can just say he's high outer and leave it be. Yeah, let's just leave it be. I'm kind of over the conversation anyway. I'm kind of over that conversation anyway. I think it would be interesting to see like a full on scale One Piece game, but like it is one of those games that it's just going to take at least a decade to make. It's just going to take a decade. You just need to give the devs as much time as they can, and hopefully it isn't like a remake of just all the fucking arcs. My thing has always been that like when you're writing a game or when you're making a story, obviously using material from the source material, using objects, using inspiration from the source material is not a bad thing. It's fine to like, let's say, bring back, I don't even want to say like, it's fine to bring back past villains in a certain way, shape, or form. I think, many of the One Piece games have done that, where they give the characters some ability to like manipulate, I mean, due to Jump Force, nothing else matters since he's already makes him the strongest the character could be in power scaling, so yeah. I think that the issue that generally just comes from like many of the One Piece games is that they just try to rehash all the same. So what now? Reacts and vids or something? We can do whatever you guys want. I can also play the Switch 2 if you guys like. We could do video reactions. Video reactions. What do we do? Oh shit! Widow's Life dropped Conquest versus Kaido video. Sure. What do next? What do next? Reactions. Video. Reactions. Read Ichi the Witch. Play Bonanza. DK Bonanza. DK Bonanza. Oh, banana. Would you eat a pelican eel fruit? Fuck no. You're getting your ass handed to you for the last 30 minutes on DMC5. Best of luck. What difficulty you play got? Wow, nobody wants to play me. Nobody wants to see me play Bonanza. If you guys, I already have the Switch set up and everything. Would you eat a pelican fruit? No, I'm not gonna eat a pelican fruit. If I eat a Zoan, and I want it to be a Zoan fruit that doesn't fucking... I want it to be a god Zoan fruit. I would most likely try to eat a Logia fruit, but if I had to... I would preferably eat a Logia fruit, but if I had to eat a Zoan fruit, at least one Zoan that, I always did wonder why Frieza never got, like, a transformation like his brother, you know? What is this? I might have to mute the sound. Okay, so this is what they would both look like when they start to transform. Cool. Would you eat a fruit? I love eating fruits. I had some mangoes a couple days ago. Oh, this is when they, this is the 100% form. Would you eat? Eat what? Eat what specifically? Uh-huh. 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 Metal Frieza Metacooler. Golden Frieza Golden Kura. Alright. Would you? Would I? Would you? Would I? Would you? Would I? Would you? Would I what? Would you like a free lollipop? Would I? Would you? Would I? Would you? Yeah. Alright. Nice bit. DMC5 Virgil made the game boring for me. Bro is too OP. Isn't that the whole point? You can watch the video, you can watch a video on Subnautica. Yeah, let's watch the... Okay, so if you want to see Bonanza... So, we'll do video reaction, then we'll do that. We'll watch the one video. Conquest versus Kaido. Conquest versus Kaido. Window life.
Conquest versus Kaido is a topic that when coming up with this idea, I honestly was shocked when I had seen that no one had really done this before or covered this in a video prior. Well, I guess in terms of aesthetics, they're nothing alike. Like one is an alien warrior and the other is an Oni who's a pirate. But beyond that, they genuinely could not be more similar of characters. They're both to some extent considered the strongest. They both strive for a fight. They both sandbag and hold back in order to enjoy a fight. Heck, they even both find enjoyment in the main character getting stronger.
I don't know, Virgil was OP. First time playing DMC. Yeah, Virgil's always been OP.
They both live by the ideal that the
But
strongest
vid reactions are
is
fun.
more so a Viltrumite ideology than solely conquest, and they both seek purpose or value in their lives through fighting. They both allow themselves to get hit and even enjoy it, and they even both share the same theme of
If you
isolation.
could eat any
Similar
double
between
fruit,
these two
what would it be? The Ope Ope no Mi, the Warp fruit, the Sun God fruit. Give me the Lightning fruit. I kind of fucked with that devil fruit too. I kind of fucked with that. Fuck it. Give me the light fruit. I just want to be able to blitz around and go anywhere I want.
Characters are genuinely endless, and having recently caught up on Invincible and reading some of the comics themselves, I find Invincible power scaling and the potential for cross-verse matchups actually somewhat interesting, and this probably won't be the only one I talk about. But for this video, I want to talk about which of these absolute monsters would come out on top in a fight. To start off, Conquest is similar to Kaido in the fact that he is the strongest, yet still not the strongest, as Conquest is clearly below Thrag. And while Kaido is stated to be the strongest creature on several different occasions, and I do think that applies to most of the characters that we know in this story, there are of course characters like Emu who kind of just are a mystery to the narrative, or at least is a mystery to the narrative when these statements are made. I feel like people who have only seen the Invincible show probably have the opinion that Mark is either equal to him if not stronger than him, simply because of the fact that he lost, but even this loss is more so considered just a stalemate between the two, and it's kind of more of Mark surviving than truly beating Conquest in a one-on-one. It's even mentioned within the notes for the episode that Conquest was, or at least should have been, unscathed, which I think is already telling towards what this fight was meant to kind of depict. I don't think it was meant to depict Mark as
I
necessarily
watched
being
an
above.
easy video on Thrag versus King Vegeta. He said that speed and invincible is legit just over time and space in a vacuum. He said you'd eat the invisibility fruit for reasons we all know. When did I say that I would eat the invisibility fruit? Did I mention that Buggy and Luffy team up against Kizaru in the Universal Studios show? Was really unexpected yet cool. That's interesting, actually.
Not to downplay Mark, as clearly he is strong, and clearly strong enough to beat Conquest, but it's just that the method in which he does so isn't very straightforward, and not nearly enough so that you could say that he's flat out stronger due to this. Conquest is just flat out shown to be able to blitz and grab Omni-Man's face, who should be at least comparable to Mark, if not a little bit below him, and Conquest is clearly confident in the fact that he could kill Omni-Man while Omni-Man is wary of him, which is even more impressive when you consider that this Nolan is a much more human and softer Nolan, who hasn't had like continuous serious fights in ages at this point. Conquest's perception of Nolan should be a prime Nolan, essentially. A Nolan who is younger, more in form when it comes to fighting and less rusty, and more in line with his Viltrumite self, rather than this version of Nolan who has clearly been more humanized.
We will be cooked if we let you have the uppy no me. You guys, nobody would be cooked. Nobody's gonna be cooked. You guys would be absolutely fine if I ate the uppy no me. I wouldn't do anything crazy with it. I'd mostly just use it to like, I'm gonna be so honest with you, if I had the uppy no me, I would just make a room around my house and just basically just teleport things into my hand if I need to.
All of this to say, Conquest should pretty much upscale from any feat in the story to an extent, or at the bare minimum scale to them, which I don't think should be that crazy of a take. Even end of series Conquest is at worst top 6. I started working on this before the Invincible in a way, but no man, that I realized like I did that the power scaling in this show, comic, whatever, is stupid, like ridiculously inconsistent. Yeah, there's some instances where you can chalk it up to Mark or other characters holding back, and in some cases the speed scaling inconsistencies, you can say, well, they're stated to be slower in Earth's atmosphere or on Earth, and that's fair, but even factoring in these points like that, it's still disgustingly inconsistent. Hockey in One Piece is one of the most annoying aspects of the power scaling because of how vague and inconsistent it is in its depiction, and Invincible just puts that to shame. You can't really argue for much consistency when it comes to the feat shown. You have to use the high ends, and even those high ends aren't the most solid thing in the world, and this is despite the fact that these characters don't consistently output these levels of strength, like just blatantly. Else Oliver should have literally exploded when hit by either Thrag or Conquest. Again, I think that while there are some instances where you can make the argument that characters aren't going all out or holding back, even though I think that should happen even if they are holding back, but there are situations where you just have to genuinely suspend your disbelief. And regardless, I'm just going to take things as they are anyways. And most of these are pretty common. I think that Invincible power scaling, at least from a consistent basis, as consistent as the story could get, is pretty straightforward. Such as Nolan tossing or diverting a meteor the size of Texas, a feat which should put him at around multi-continental, and this more than anything should be a casual feat.
Yeah, I saw them.
Would be the floor of Conquest, if anything. This is just more so what he can pretty easily output if he's not completely holding back. And this already puts Conquest at a pretty comfortable spot when being compared to most of One Piece. Like, pre-time skip isn't even a question at this point. He's like pretty easily running through pre-time skip, or at least the events of pre-time skip that weren't clear outliers for the Straw Hats. He's running through Fishman Island with ease. He's running through Dressrosa. He'd be
He's not running through Fishman Island if you give him the Horty Jones pill meta. He's not running. He's not. He's definitely not running through Horty Jones if you give him the Fishman pill meta. If you use the anime, Horty Jones ate like over 90 fucking pills, bro. A guy that's already a trained combatant Fishman, which should be over 10 times stronger than a normal human, being multiplied by 2 to the 90th power or some shit. Yeah, no, I don't think Conquest beats that.
fine in Whole Cake Island.
Like, if Horty Jones is even remotely as strong as... If Horty Jones is not even just remotely strong, if he's anything stronger than Arlong in base form, he absolutely... I don't know if Conquest beats that.
Being the very clear outlier in Whole Cake Island, but even with just this very baseline scaling for Conquest, he should be around like mid-tiers in One Piece, such as the Yonko First Commanders. It's hard to call them mid-tiers per se, but you know, there is
call
a
them
very
mid-high
wide
tiers.
gap between mid-tiers and high tiers in One Piece, so a lot of characters
I would say
can be considered
mid-high.
mid-tiers. But of course, by far the most prominent feat that exists within Invincible.
Nah, in the manga you can't do it because you never see the number of pills he has in hand. In the manga you never do. There's actually no way of doing it. Which is why I have to constantly emphasize that it's anime, that you have to use the anime adaptation specifically for the Horty Jones multipliers, because it's never shown in the manga. There are never any images of how many pills he eats, besides I think maybe like one where he's dropping like a couple of them in hand. Sorry, where he's dropping a couple of them into his mouth, and that was like prior to him like roiding out the first time.
And clearly the most solid feat that these characters have, at least in my opinion, is the destruction of Viltrum. Viltrum itself clearly is treated as being a larger planet, having multiple moons, the ability to have a ring around it, which does require a certain size, and other things that would imply it's a planet at least bigger than Earth. And this feat itself should be large planet level, though considering it's a feat that required Nolan, Mark, and Thaddeus, and Space Racer to perform, at best, individually, they would scale to 1/3 of this feat, making it more so like a small planet feat for them individually. Again, something that Conquest would scale to. And while there are arguments that can be made to get them far higher, I just don't think any of them are good. By far, the best, I guess.
If power scaling is power, what are you without it? I'm a scaler.
Or
I just don't scale
least
power.
worst
I just
one
scale
is,
things.
in my opinion, from Omnipotus, who has said, or at least claims to have destroyed an entire star system via chain reaction, but can then use the energy of what he's destroyed to
Omnipotus is a predator on a cosmic scale, being a vast power that exists only to destroy, absorb reality. A hulking humanoid being, Omnipotence fuels his seemingly limitless power by absorbing energy, feeds on the force of living beings as well as the energy released when matter is destroyed. The more energy Omnipotence absorbs, the greater his physical and psionic powers become, which is in turn increases his ability to destroy matter to destructive. Yeah, okay.
then channel it through himself. He fights
It's
dinosaurs.
possible. The issue is like that when the character says he's downing pills like candy, people will say it's not quantifiable, but pills, even that much to say. I mean, I get that, but it'd still just be an arbitrary value. Like, I get where you're coming from, Marcos. It's still just an arbitrary value. You can still just say, but is that number canon? Even if you try to lowball it or highball it, you can still just say that. Again, it's just an arbitrary value. Not even since they hit the already unstable core of the planet. They also said that they needed the perfect timing, or else they die on the impact. They don't scale to it. Has taken like 42 pills? No, he is not taking 42 pills. That number is also incorrect.
Who Mark scales to, and so should all of the other top tier Viltrumites. But the problem with Omnipotus is that we don't know how he.
Unless
outputs
you
that
use the
energy.
anime
Is it all
adaptation,
at
that
once
number is
or
incorrect.
partial? If it's partial,
If you use the
then how
anime adaptation, 1 second. If you use the anime adaptation for Horty Jones, One Piece, SBS. If you go for by the anime adaptation, these are the number of pills that he eats: 45, and what's the highest number here? 37, not including these three. 37. I think it might be 38. I didn't count this one back here. I didn't count it, and I think this one might be a little longer. That might actually be a second one, but I didn't want to count those. So 37 and 45, which adds up to 82. He ate about 82 pills total. 42 pills at once, by the way, and he took in multiple scenes while fighting Luffy. LARP, LARP, LARP. By the way, Space Racer's laser did most of the work. Are you a power scaler because you're Eon, or are you Eon because you power scale? Why not both? Doesn't he drop some? I think from the panel where he drops some, he drops, I think, 5 in one case. I think it was like 5 in one case and 15 in the other, which is actually, yeah, sorry. The reason why I lowballed it is because you do see in the manga panel that some of them do fall, and in the anime, I did slow it down when I was working on it, because this is actually one of these things that kind of goes into more so the animation of it. If you guys want, I can show you it. I just have to bring up the video. I'll have to just pull up the video. But when you slow it down and go frame by frame, the reason why I had such a trouble actually counting how many he drops is because when he puts them to his mouth, the next frame just has pills popping out of his hand. You can't see it normally when you're watching the video through and through, but you just see like some pills just like spawn on the sides as soon as he puts his mouth to it because of the animation. Yeah, Space Racer did most of the work. The show did a better job showing how destroying Viltrum paid out. Okay.
So, does his durability
Viltrum.
actually scale there? These are questions that simply don't have answers, and also, in general, this feat would just be inconsistent to the scaling of Viltrumites, because he should be pretty significantly below the top tier Viltrumites anyways. I mean, if we're talking about a star system, we're talking about scaling this guy to at least solar system level, and Thrag should be capable of one-shotting this guy. Of course, I'm aware that attack potency and destructive capabilities are two different things, however, this is a destructive capability feat. This is this character scaling to the destruction of a star system. So to argue that there are Viltrumites who are significantly above a solar system level character, a character who...
I mean, who cares? I mean, first of all, the anime does use canon scenes from the manga. The anime does have a level of canonicity to it. It is literally just an adaptation of the source material. You can't say that it's not canon. What happens in the anime can still be considered canon. 1. And 2, you can also just say, by the anime scaling, yes, Horty Jones, blah, blah, blah. You can just say that both have completely different lines of scaling, which is also completely fine. I should become a height scaler. People too often use extremely bad logic when arguing about power scaling. Yeah, we should use height scaling. If the character's bigger, that means she should win.
3 of them happen to be the ones to do it. No, Nolan literally grabs Mark and brings him along with him because he needs him in order to do this. That's along with also having Thaddeus and along with also having Space Racer to be the one to actually do the piercing through the planet initially. So it just presents a very huge inconsistency. If Mark is able to...
The meta is just a no limits fallacy. Who says there's a limit? The limit is how many pills he ate.
output more power than this character who can lay waste to an entire star system, why is he not just turning this planet into dust? They even go as far as to say that
I would
they were
disagree
lucky
with that.
it
You
worked,
can't
or
count
they
the
didn't
pills
die.
in the
Why is
manga.
Thrag talking about 37 of them being able to tear apart the planet? A relatively small one at that. Like, I get it, it's a narrative point. Thrag is essentially saying to Mark that there are 37 of us. The planet is still standing because...
What
we
are you
decided to
without
stand
you?
there.
I'm
But
nothing,
why are you
because that
mentioning
wouldn't be
37
me.
of you? You could do this yourself, like right now, in an instant pretty much. If you supposedly had the power that you could pretty much one-shot Mark, the character who's already above this character who can lay waste to star systems. Under that context, you should be able to fly through this planet and destroy it in seconds, if not less. But you're not going to convince me that all 37 Viltrumites should be at least comparable to solar system destroying power, and yet find themselves lucky to survive going through a planet and destroying it, or are making hype statements around all of...
I'm wondering where he got this, like, background. I fuck with this background. I wonder where they got it.
them combined.
Hey, it's Lawless
I think all of the
Weepsan.
arguments, and I am aware of all of them, and if I'm not mentioning each and every one of them, but I am aware of them. I think all of the arguments that are getting the Viltrumites into star level, which there aren't really that many of anyways, but I just think they're bad. I think they're, one, inconsistent, and even standalone, they are pretty bad. I'm not going to go into detail into every single argument that people bring up for this, as
You
I think
equals
most of them
use,
can
so
just
you
be dismissed by
negate
the
you,
fact that
you
they're
are
inconsistent.
nothing.
But I will address just the kind of main one that I see used often, which is Space Racer. But I mean, to first talk about Space Racer, my issue with Space Racer and him being able to destroy a star is
Destroyed assassin with a chain of events of exponentially more powerful events in an unquantifiable time frame. The most consistent AP in multi-scaling is multi-continental or high multi-continental. I get it. I see you guys. I hear you.
that he simply doesn't destroy Viltrum. Now, we have to put this into perspective, right? For one, this is a statement that essentially comes from Omni-Man and Omni-Man only. Even going by the anime...
Yo! Invisible? Just ask for the background in the comments. Hey. I'll ask for it afterwards because I don't know what I want to say for the video
where
first.
we technically see this happen, this is still a recollection of Omni-Man based on the rumors. It's not even something that he actually saw.
I hate the fact that I hate the fact that this gun, by the way, this has nothing to do with like the actual scaling of the series.
Now, we have to put this in...
This has nothing to do with the scaling of the series or anything else. It's just this gun can blow up planets, and this gun looks so fucking just stupid to me. It like you would look at something like this and be like, that's just a fucking metal tube with a fucking trigger on it. Who gives a shit? That's just a metal tube. That honestly looks like a metal baton with a trigger stuck to the bottom of it. And this thing can blow a planet. I hate that. I hate something about this. Like, fuck the simplicity of it. I hate this thing.
In perspective, recollection of Omni-Man based on the rumors. It's not even something that he actually saw. Technically, he does affirm these rumors, but that's in a fight where...
What a stupid-looking gun.
Just assumed, well, yeah, he's this strong. Which I don't think is too out of character. It's not like he's directly saying that, yes, this guy can destroy a star.
When a star's core is destroyed, the star collapses. The ray does not have star-level DC. It was a chain reaction.
Why this kind of more than likely isn't the case. From his perspective...
So, like, one could also just argue that, like, the gun destabilizes the core from the inside and it forces the whole star to crumble.
From Omni-Man's perspective, Space Racer, under this hypothetical scenario we're talking about here, knows that Space Racer can destroy a star, and if we're going by the anime interpretation and this recollection of the rumors, it is like essentially a one-shot and easily. Why would Omni-Man think that the planet Viltrum, which has never been destroyed before, and we have to assume no character has ever tried to destroy, why would he, one, know that a planet has the durability of a star, which should not be the case normally, and two, even if he did,
how can a pipe gun destroy a planet? That's what I'm saying. That's
what
what I'm asking, man. That's what I mean. Like, what are we talking about?
Still wasn't enough for planet Viltrum. Mind you,
It's not normal cane metal, it's magical or some shit. I don't care if it's magical, it looks fucking stupid. It's so simple. Like, I hate the design. Oh, this random ass long metal tube. This long ass metal tube, you could just point it at a fucking star and blow it up. Oh, fantastic. This is some Looney Tunes shit, bro. Some Acme shit, bro. What are we talking about? Yeah, this is how I always look at it. He just destabilizes things, and the destabilization causes things to blow up, because if it could just one-tap a planet, why would they need to fly through it? Essentially, the gun has infinite AP and no DC. Nothing beyond its actual beam gets hurt. You see it when he shoots the perfect holes into Viltrum. All AP, no DC. I wish it looked like a Super Soaker. If it looked like a Super Soaker, I wouldn't even be mad. If it looked like a Super Soaker, I would be completely fine with that. But it doesn't even look like a fucking Super Soaker, dude. It's just... It's literally just metal tube, trigger. That's it. Just a metal pipe. I could quite literally make one of these. If I had a welding tool, I could quite literally make one of these in like an hour.
If this were the case, then all of the three Viltrumites had to be bare minimum, at least a dwarf star level. You are potentially arguing for Viltrum being solar system level.
That kind of looks like Jinx from the girl from the video. Yeah, she kind of looks like Jinx from League of Legends. I've never really played I played like 3 games of League of Legends in my life. Not a fan of it.
King solar system level. If that is what you think, then power to you. That is simply not something I agree with. The way it's shown to work within the anime depiction is more of a chain reaction, and as we see with it just being kind of like a straight line beam, it clearly doesn't have the AoE to perform these feats. It's more of a chain reaction. Given that we don't see this happen to the Viltrumites when they're hit with it, they don't explode. We don't see this happen to a normal asteroid comparable in size to Space Racer, and of course we don't see this happen to Viltrum. I'm simply of the belief that it just operates differently on stars. Nothing else that Space Racer ever hits gets this same chain reaction that the star got. So I simply have no reason to believe that it works the same on anything other than a star. Maybe due to just the properties of stars and how it's described to kind of break down matter.
Dude, explosion, bro. Couldn't even destroy a car, like fully blow it up. The ray can't do that. It is from the show Arcane, got you.
Which is why I don't really think it makes any sense whatsoever for them to be above planetary. Again, I think that the most clear concrete feat that they have gets them to small planet level individually based on the destruction of Viltrum, but I'm not going to fight you on them being higher into baseline planetary.
I could probably do the same thing. It's really just about masking. It's really just about masking a I would say it really just boils down to just masking a PNG of the Straw Hat logo on a character's face, removing, like, let's say the hair. Basically just cropping out the hair properly, putting the Straw Hat thing underneath, and then just throwing it back on top.
And to be clear, we're talking about the strongest Viltrumites, like top 10, maybe top 15. Some of these guys can flat out one-shot each other somehow, so do with that what you will. Of course, that's not really...
Maybe because he only has one of them.
Of course, we're talking about Conquest, and he would obviously scale here.
I don't know, Eternal. Maybe it's because
most of the Invincible crossverse matchups is the absurd speed scaling that Invincible has. I mean, even just on the low end, you have Nolan casually floating inside a black hole and escapes it. Black holes which don't let light escape. And this is, like, completely irrelevant to his speed scaling. He gets far faster than this. In general, these are characters who are pretty casually traveling across the galaxy, if not the universe, scaling from thousands of times faster than light to millions of times faster than light. And while you can just be a super skeptic if you want to be a little bit disingenuous in my opinion, and argue their combat speed doesn't scale to their travel speed, which I do think has some merit, which I'll get into, but to address this point, that's just not how they fight. Like, they're not pulling out Krav Maga or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They're flying into you and punching your head off. Rarely are they going to ever engage in, like, normal fisticuffs with you. They'll just throw their entire body at you. So it's not really like combat speed per se in the way that they fight, especially, and I guess more specifically when they fight in space. So I don't think their speed is really too contingent on their combat speed, if that makes sense. Where I think there is an argument is the method in which they travel, as it can easily be argued that they use a form of subspace teleportation. It is specifically stated that Nolan's speed can bypass the speed of light due to the subspace jumping of his atoms, which has to do with the Viltrumite smart atoms, of course. So it is very easily arguable that the way in which they travel across the galaxy and across the universe is through this subspace teleportation, or the jumping of their atoms. Now, an argument that you can make for this, and what you could really do for any of the arguments involving like their travel speed not being equal to their combat speed, is the fact that they do fly at these speeds. They have to react to things within outer space or within the galaxy as to not crash. And we see this as someone like Alan flat out does react to a faster than light ship from Viltrum, as their ships should just be FTL to FTL+. And this is as he's flying at these like galaxy traversing speeds, he has to react whilst doing so. And then you could simply argue on top of that based on the fact that Thrag is able to blitz these characters, meaning he would be faster.
Bro, someone tell me who wins in this video? We'll tell you when we're done.
Meaning that whenever they're just normally moving, like in combat, they can still move at these speeds. The issue with this is that when it comes to these statements that reference the fact that the Viltrumites or characters like Alan can react to things whilst they're in flight, it speaks in a way that they can react as they get faster. I forget the specific wording and I'll throw it up on screen, but it's stated like...
I mean, you could argue that it doesn't translate to combat speed, but to be fair, like, he is right. They are throwing their whole bodies at you. Like, I'm not saying that a Viltrumite, for example, I'm not saying that, like, a Viltrumite is just going full raw speed whenever, like, they try to, like, charge up a punch or whatever to attack somebody, especially within an atmosphere. But what I'm saying is that, like, let's say, like, outside of an atmosphere in space, if they're just flying as fast as they can, if they're flying at, like let's say, top speed, they can still their punches can still scale to that speed. Their punches, their reaction can still scale to that speed. It's more so just that, like, whenever they're fighting on, you know, normal... let's just call it like normal atmospheres with like that aren't fucking vacuums. Did you find this video? It's about 45 and has 20 views. Jeff told me about it.
Like they're
like the meta isn't quantifiable. We don't have a number or two for Horty Jones, and the math Oda used wasn't really hyperbolic feats wise. I'm confused.
Actions or their reflexes.
Count the number of pills that are on his hand. Then do 2 raised by that power. It's not unquantifiable. Quite literally, it's not unquantifiable. And you can even use the most conservative-ass metric of just saying Horty Jones is as strong as a normal person. It's not unquantifiable. You can go by that. You can go by that metric pretty easily, and it makes sense. Correct. But Omni-Man feat for Thraxa was him constantly accelerating for a week and using subspace. He can't achieve those feats in short bursts. No, yeah, so that's what I'm getting at, right? It's not... They do have... Their combat speed does scale to their speed. It's just that for, like, the high end of it, they have to accelerate to that point first, right? There are too many movements that simply neg the idea that their best travel speed is equal to their combat speed. Well, I would say it's a little different than that.
Proportional to how fast they're moving.
Here's the thing. I don't really have anything for Invincible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, like, Invincible is a series that I care about, and I'm not trying to defend it for any other reason other than, like, you know, he makes sense, right? Like, the argument that he's making does make a metric fuck ton of sense to me, right? Like, it seems logical in the way that he's saying it, right? Like, it's not, like, the fact that they're throwing their entire bodies at you does mean that, like, whenever they're charging up their fist, whenever they're knocking it back, I mean, they have to be able to react to things while traveling at these massive speeds, you know? Like, even if you want to say that, well, you know, their combat speed can't reach those speeds, you know, when they're, like, in an atmosphere and stuff like that, because they can't just throw their whole body, they can't just accelerate themselves unless they're, like, flying around the planet trying to build up the speed. I get that, but what I'm saying is that, like, that still doesn't deny the fact that their combat speed can match their movement speed if they are, you know, if the right conditions are provided. Because X is completely unknown. If you do X equals 2, the power of 40, that still would be unquantifiable. That's why the meta is unquantifiable. It is not unquantifiable. It is not. We know that Horty Jones is 10 times stronger than an average human. That is it. We know that Horty Jones is 10 times stronger than an average human. So what is the strength of an average human multiplied by 2 to the 40th power, 2 to the 45th power, 2 to the 37th power? There you go. That's how you do it. There. Nothing else. You don't need anything else. Fantastic. Just found out how to do it.
Proportional to how fast they're moving.
There is no X. There is no random X. The information is there. Fishmen are 10 times stronger than the average person. Horty Jones is stronger than the average fishman. You don't even need to assume how much stronger he is. You literally just say, this is how strong a human is. This is a human that's 10 times stronger than a human. Then this number right here is that value multiplied by 2 to the X power, depending on how many pills he ate. That's it.
Reactions will be enhanced proportional.
It's literally not hard to figure out.
Stupid, by the way, like that is actually whatever. It just doesn't make sense because your reaction or perception should not increase based on how fast.
Literally stated twice. Literally stated twice, by the way.
But that is just what's stated. So it's fine to say that their travel speed and combat speed do
Eon versus third grade math. I just did the math. What the? Why am I the one getting attacked for doing the math? I literally just gave you. Eon just proved that the pills are stated to be 2 to 2.5 to the... No, I did not say 2.5. I said 2. Don't strawman me either, Swarnum. I said the pills are stated to be 2, double the power, and then they double it again when you need another one. Okay, so everyone just suddenly has a tracking error. What's the tracking error? The problem is it's just inconsistent. Markets nagged by regular electricity. Think about a car. They get to 200 miles per hour only after some time, not in 10 seconds. Again, I get that. Comes out to, like, large town. What, 2 to the 40th power? What, the strength of a normal person multiplied by 2 to the 40th power times 10?
Travel speed isn't really what gets them these millions of times.
It's not even third grade math.
The fact that they were using subspace teleportation, and that's not even mentioned.
Third grade math doesn't. I don't even think third grade math goes into both. That's not my argument. So what is the argument, Tamari? Because we're doing this thing again, where you don't want to. We're doing this thing again. What's the argument? Express the argument. What is the objective claim that you are trying to provide? What is the argument, Tamari? What is it? Explain the argument. Write it down. Word for word, what your argument is.
Point is, I think that people who simplify the argument to just, well, their travel speed is equal to their combat speed is one baseless, but also just a bad argument. But from where the argument is coming from, or what's trying to be said, despite what's literally being said, fundamentally it's an argument that does hold merit because their combat speed should not scale to the results of what you're getting from calculations. So you have the fact that we don't really know if they need momentum or to build up that speed. Not claiming that they do, but we simply don't know whether that's the case or not.
It's unquantifiable because the X is unknown. You're assuming X is the pill multiplier, but it's not. What's the pill multiplier, Tamari? What am I assuming is the pill multiplier? So you're saying that X is the pill multiplier, right? Okay, so let me just objectively prove you wrong. You do this thing where, like, you're saying, oh, we don't know this one piece of information, therefore we cannot use it at all. Okay, then. Sure. Sure. Fishmen are 10 times as strong as humans. A single dose of the energy steroid will double that strength. 2 pills will double it again. What's 2 times 10? 20. What's 20 times 2? 40. What's 40 times 2? 80. There you go. Objectively wrong. There you go, Tamori. Proved you wrong.
It's happening via subspace teleportation rather than just pure movement speed, and then you add on the fact that they can essentially only do this in space. I also forgot that it is just flat out stated again within. You
just said yourself you're assuming X is the pill multiplier, but it's not. What is X then? How am I not tracking it? You know what? Never mind. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna go through the mental gymnastics with you. I'm not gonna go through the mental X is Horty before the pills amp. the X is Horty before the pill maps. I went over that before already. I already covered that, Aura. Like, I already covered that. I quite literally already covered that. Horty is at least 10 times stronger than the average person. There's no way you can go lower than that. Giving the lowest interpretation possible. Given the objective lowest interpretation possible, that is, Horty Jones is as strong as the average person, you just say, multiply every single one of the average person's stats, physical, lifting, punching, strength stats by 10, and then just double that. If you multiply by 10 for the Fishman statement, it upscales to 8.9 megatons. And then throw another 37 into it. Throw another 2 to the 37th power into it. Like there's no mental gymnastics around this, bro. Like, it's Horty Jones at the weakest metric possible is at the very least, with assuming absolutely no benefit of doubt for the character, is at least 10 times stronger than a human. You will not go any lower than that. You cannot go any lower than that. So then multiply that strength by 2 to the whatever the fuck power amount of pills you think he ate based on what's shown on screen. There you go. There you get the value. It's not hard math.
That it takes time for him to reach his top speed. Even the fact that he has a top speed implies that he needs to get up to that point. So the point about momentum isn't even a point of...
Like, if you say that Horty Jones is even 10 times stronger than Don Krieg, who can lift up a fucking paddle boat, a metal paddle boat with one hand and toss it several meters into the air, the numbers then just get even crazier. 8.1 megatons is still after the pills amps? What about after the second pill amps? Because that's only after the first one. What about the second one? Because he goes through 3 pill amps. You'd have to do it again by 30... What is it? You would have to do it... You would have to do it... The 8.1... The 8.1 megatons also doesn't work. Because you're assuming that that's... that would be after the first pill amp. That would be after the first pill amp. You would have to count the other 2 pill amps as well. So whatever 8.91 megatons, you would have to multiply that by what? The other... You would have to multiply that by this number of pills and by this number of pills.
Do require time to reach their top speeds and need momentum. As far as actual feats go, the best you can argue for, on Earth at least, is for Cho being able to blitz the Immortal from New York to the Arctic, a feat which would come out to about 27 times faster than light. Cho is the closest thing to a Viltrumite in terms of speed, at least on Earth, and so Viltrumite should still even be significantly beyond this, and while less of a feat more than just something that happens, I guess, if you go by the fact that Cecil satellites could detect Alan but yet couldn't detect Mark and Conquest when they were fighting, then this would mean that both Mark and Conquest were moving at 158 times faster than light. Okay, and before ending off the Conquest scaling, I will bring this up just because I don't want to not bring it up. I'm not entirely sure if majority of the side stories for Invincible are actually canon. I know the tech just that the author told people to go read the story for prove that to have the information watch the story, you won't know what's really happening. That doesn't make them canon just because they relate to previous events in the original story. That's just backwards. The original story has to justify the events happening in the spin-off or in the movie being canon. But also the synopsis and like the way Mark even gets into the story makes no sense and isn't consistent to the original story because it stated they were going to summon the strongest creature in all the known universes, that being Mark. To be clear, timeline-wise, this is a pre-Conquest fight Mark. He's not even close to the strongest creature in his own universe. What are we talking about here? So I think using just adjustabilistic speeds, this is a joint feat between him and Tick, but both of these characters should still scale to large planet level. This is the first one, the Invincible, with at least 158. Here's a way to get into how strong the top tiers of One Piece are is almost always going to come from Whitebeard and Blackbeard, just because they have the power that is literally the most destructive thing in the world, at least when it comes to devil fruits, having the ability to easily create tremors, vibrations on a scale so massive that it can affect a massive portion of the planet, if not the entire planet itself. This is something they do with ease. They are easily capable of creating massive earthquakes across the planet, tsunamis, and this is all done through tremors and or vibrations. This was to the extent that a prime Whitebeard was capable of shaking an island just by yelling, not even doing this intentionally. But the actual feats that they have which support the rest of the top tiers in One Piece come from Marineford, where they actually use these abilities while during the Marineford War. Even just the casual usage of their abilities is reaching so far throughout the entire planet that people who aren't even aware of the war can feel these tremors, again, across the entire planet, which when calculating such feats comes out to at least a moon level. These are feats performed by a Whitebeard who is extremely old and extremely sick, and a Blackbeard who's using this ability for the first time as a test drive. And this is something that even characters such as Law is capable of scaling to. So even this level of power is significantly below the absolute top tiers of the verse, such as the Yonkos, as even Blackbeard at this point in time was very much so weaker than these characters. Even with such power, Blackbeard was still wary of fighting an old Rayleigh. Considering this is something that Law scales to, this is pretty easily something that Kaido should scale to even in his base form. Considering that Law was able to clash with this just using his sword and essentially his physical strength, as the application of his Devil Fruit Awakening on his sword does not increase the attack potency in any way, it is strictly used to operate from an internal level and deal internal damage. This would just be Law being able to match this output with the potency of his swing, something that again a base Kaido should scale to, but at the very least a high.
I'm not top 3 anymore. I understood myself. I'm going to the mountains to train to reclaim my throne. After the second amp, exit tons, multi-continental, cool.
Luffy, who was much stronger than Law. Kaido and Also, Luffy would get much stronger from this point. I have a video on the power scaling of One Piece going over this where I go into a little bit more detail, but to go over this briefly, during Enies Lobby we are introduced to a system called the Doriki system. This is a scale or measurement or gauge of sorts that depicts how strong a character is in relation to a other numerically, and we see that a character like Lucci is significantly stronger than Bluno. Over 4 times stronger, but that's excluding his hybrid form, which gets him even stronger from there. Luffy during this arc, whilst in his base form, is able to compete with Bluno, essentially ragdolling him once he enters Gear 2. This Gear 2 form is later to compete with a hybrid Lucci, who's stronger than the Lucci who is already more than 4 times stronger than Bluno. Taking this all into account, Luffy when entering Gear 2 should be getting 5 times stronger than his base form. I will say one thing about that video is that I had made that a while ago before I actually posted it, because I already had it scripted and recorded like a pretty long time ago, and one thing that I just say was compete with Bluno. Over 4 times stronger, but that's excluding his hybrid form, which gets him even stronger from there. Luffy during this arc, whilst in his base form, is able to compete with Bluno, essentially ragdolling him once he enters Gear 2. This Gear 2 form is later to compete with a hybrid Lucci, who's stronger than the Lucci who is already more than 4 times stronger than Bluno. Taking this all into account, Luffy when entering Gear 2 should be getting 5 times stronger than his base form. I will say one thing about
So he's just not accounting for the fact that Luffy unironically fights Lucci basically to a relative degree prior to using the Zoan transformations.
that video is that I had made that.
I feel like people just always forget that. I feel like people just genuinely forget. Excuse me. I feel like people just genuinely forget that Luffy fights Lucci to a relative degree in base form. He had to get 5 times stronger. That doesn't make second gear a 5 times amp. If anything, it would make second gear a greater amp because Rob Lucci's Devil Fruit would also be upping his power, even if you think that Luffy was still just as strong when he fought Lucci when he fought Bluno. Even though Frankie would only technically be slightly weaker than Luffy, and Luffy's punches are working more against Lucci than Bluno's are. So that's where people get... Yeah, people get it wrong because people get the 5 times amp from second gear completely wrong because they believe that Luffy doesn't get stronger from Bluno to Lucci, even though in order for Luffy to fight Bluno and then fight Lucci, that would mean that Lucci would perform the same thing that he did to Frankie, and that's putting down Luffy in a single fucking hit. Like, what are we talking about? That's like the one gripe I have with this. It's fine. It doesn't matter in the long run, but like, yeah, I don't like that.
Is applying the 5 times multiplier to his speed as well, since there's no actual argument that the speed increase that he gets is directly proportional to how much stronger he gets, even when you do look at it from the perspective that his strength is contingent on his tensile strength. Even though I still think it's weird for a speed-based transformation to make you more times stronger than more times faster, it would be more accurate to say that he's getting 2.2 times faster when looking at it from the perspective of velocity from elastic recoil and or tensile strength, which will be important when I get into talking about speed. But continuing on with the
he's using calcs and all that shit.
Of course, he would also get significantly stronger during Dressrosa when he uses Gear 4, where he is stated to have gotten many times stronger by Doflamingo, or increased his strength by manyfold. So when factoring in these multipliers to his attack potency and his gears, when using Gear 2 and then going
was kind of getting beat. I disagree. He quite literally blitzes Lucci from a fucking standstill. And grabs him and throws him. Like, Lucci, maybe towards like the end of it when he hits Luffy with that barrage of finger pistols and sends him flying back, you could say that like that's when Lucci kind of like gets the upper hand on Luffy, but I mean not really.
Luffy would be getting 20 times stronger than his base form, which when taking the energy value of Blackbeard and scaling that to Luffy, using that as how strong Luffy would be prior to these multipliers, that would then get him into...
Where do you scale Conquest? I don't know. I kind of lost track of it because we were doing by like... He was using some random shit from like an extra series right there. He said something about like maybe large planetary or some shit. Maybe small planetary.
That is how strong Luffy would be.
Not in base.
These multipliers, that would then get him into small planet levels of power. This is not even talking about Gear 5, which makes Luffy significantly stronger. But there's no real quantification for this.
Not in base?
Know that it does
no, he wasn't base around that time.
The Straw Hats
or are we referencing to completely different times?
Borderline gets a Zenkai boost at times as he's able to surpass himself mid-fight. So he would have gotten stronger in Egghead and now stronger in Elbaf. But again, not quantifiable, and this is just vaguely so. But some interesting scaling that
I disagree with
Elbaf is via these sleep tits that kill.
It's completely quantifiable.
Ridiculously big, like genuinely ridiculously big. And even when at a distance of over 300 kilometers, these sleep tits are still massive in comparison to the rest of Elbaf, at least on a general scale. This is a place where giants live, and they are significantly bigger than giants. Even bigger than Loki, who's already bigger than most giants, if not all giants. Being so unbelievably big that when talking about their charging speed, which is just them running at something, or in the case of others, their swinging speed, individually, they range from multi-continental to as high as planet level. The Draugr gets one shot by Loki, a base Loki, who is also injured. Even the Nidhogg and Loki nightmares get defeated by Dory and Brogy. Dory and Brogy, who are, like, if you go on bounties, maybe there's an argument to be made that they're somewhat mid-tiers, but apart from that, they're not really up there at all. These guys are probably getting beat by the likes of King and Katakuri, who are significantly below the Yonkos, like not even in the same conversation. Even beyond that, Loki, when he uses his Devil Fruit...
So you're telling me that King and Katakuri can split a fucking Elder? So we're just saying that King and Katakuri can just split an Elder in half. What was the reasoning for this? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Unbelievably big that when talking about their charging speed, which is just them running at something, or in the case of others, their swinging speed, individually, they range from multi-continental to as high as planet level. The Draugr gets one shot by Loki, a base Loki who is also injured. Even the Nidhogg and Loki nightmares get defeated by Dory and Brogy. Dory and Brogy, who are, like, if you go on bounties, maybe there's an argument to be made that they're somewhat mid-tiers, but apart from that, they're not really up there at all. These guys are probably getting beat by the likes of King and Katakuri, who are significantly below the Yonkos, like not even
Marineford, Water 7, Ennius Lobby. I'm a shapeshifter, endless masquerade. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Du-du-du-du-du-du. From a standstill, from a standstill. From a standstill, grabs Lucci. In a sync, blitzes Lucci. Yeah. Yeah. Right here. Grabs Lucci. Lucci is surprised. Lucci is sweating. Throws him, sends him sweating. Then he blitzes Luffy right back. Right here, you can see that both of them are blocking each other's hits consistently. Dodges one hit. Luffy hits right there. You can see right here. That's not blitzing, that's just a tackle. That is literally a blitz. That is literally a blitz. You can even see right here. This reaction right here. Exclamation point, question mark. That's a blitz. He was surprised. You could call it a soft blitz. He literally closed the distance. You can even see Rob Lucci here is surprised. What are we talking about? Are you telling me that Luffy is surprised that he was able to grab Rob Lucci? He's going from a standstill, grabbing Lucci, and then throwing him. That's a blitz. What are we talking about? By the way, Chopper was also in the theme park show as a large person. He was surprised he grabbed him. Yes, that's called a blitz. You can call it bad all you want. It's kind of into the manga. It's just a regular blitz. Yeah, it's just a regular blitz. You can have different... There are different kinds of blitzes. Perception blitzes. You can call... What I like to call a hard blitz is when the character can't even react. They just get straight up taken out. I call that just a hard blitz. A soft blitz would be like the character getting up close to you and doing something like what Luffy did.
his devil fruit.
Hey, whatever. It's all arbitrary terms anyway.
Every single one of them. Loki is casually one-shotting small planet to planet level characters. Multiple of them. And while Loki's scaling is definitely ambiguous within the series right now, it's pretty clearly the case that he's portrayed as being below Luffy right now, unless you for some reason think that Luffy's gonna do worse against Emu, which I'd have to question how you understand narratives at this point, but I digress. At the bare minimum, Kaido should be comparable to Loki, even if you for some reason think that Kaido is below him. Mind you, I'm only dragging this out like this because I personally do not buy into the fact that Loki actually lost to Shanks, simply because we had this narrative fed to us already, with Loki killing Herald, and yet that's not necessarily what happened, at least in the way it's portrayed. So I'm not entirely sold on the fact that Shanks beat Loki to the extent at least that he scales above Loki. But if
why
you
is the Horty Jones still meta bad?
Loki and Kaido is stated to be the strongest Yonko on several different occasions by characters.
I don't really see that as a blitz because of blitz each other, yes.
Loki would also refer to a much younger Shanks.
But I do think Luffy did blitz someone after he went second gear. I mean, you can definitely argue Luffy blitzed him in second gear, but you also can just straight up argue that Luffy blitzed him when he went from a standstill to grab him. I mean, we can try to like debate semantics or whatever, what constitutes a blitz, what isn't a blitz, but like at the end of the day, Luffy went from a standstill, grabbed Lucci, there was a mark of surprise in Lucci's face, and then he throws Lucci. Like, Lucci didn't do anything about it either.
Interact with Whitebeard, who essentially just flat out implies that Shanks is the weakest Yonko when he asks why Ace went after him rather than Shanks if he wants to take down a Yonko, essentially implying that Shanks would be easier to take down than him and also would be the easiest Yonko to take down. Of course, usually I would say this only applies to pre-time skip Shanks when talking about Shanks in general, but the Shanks who beat Loki would be younger than pre-time skip Shanks. Point being, Loki could unironically like one-shot a horde of Viltrumites, including some of the strongest ones who even scale to planetary or small planet level. So the only issue for Kaido here would really be a lack of AoE. He should be capable of one-shotting characters like Conquest. And I really haven't gotten into just how high you can get One Piece top tiers, which is based on the fact that Whitebeard can flat out destroy the planet, being stated on numerous occasions to be able to destroy the world itself. This making more than enough sense when talking about the way that Whitebeard's devil fruit fundamentally operates. Even when holding back, he can affect all of, if not majority of the planet. And then you have the fact that the One Piece planet is clearly a very large
This
planet.
value, you cannot get this value. You cannot get a value that low. Oh wait, let me see. What was the value that I got it to?
Simple islands like Alabasta being over.
I can spot a Naruto lapper a mile away. I refuse to actually think you guys have watched or read it because of the stuff you've downplayed. I look down on you or looked down on because you want your fave Luffy to win? Ah, someone named Datebayo Lorp. Here, you want to know something, Datebayo Lorp? Let me show you something really funny. You see this right here? You say that we haven't actually read or watched Naruto, and yet I have, literally speaking, an entire document of me reading and writing down every single major feat and statement that Naruto performs throughout the entirety of the series, including other characters. 47 pages of me just writing down every single thing that happens within the context of the story up until the end. Well, I could be joking. That might be sarcasm. If you're joking, I mean, cool, fantastic. Yeah, sure.
8,000 kilometers, almost 2 times the size of the United States, which is one of the millions of islands, which isn't part.
I think they use the meteors to wipe out the dinosaurs as a metric. It's kind of wonky. Multi-continental is more consistent. So wait, what'd you say? Your scaling is so weird. My scaling isn't weird. You just don't agree with it, and that's completely fine. I agree with people at conclusion, but the invisible scaling is a victim of inconsistencies and popularity bias. Many people change the narrative to make it the more popular. It sticks out. Yeah.
Particularly the biggest island in the series. I mean, even Elba, for example, literally makes Alabasta look like a convenience store. And when using this to determine the size of the One Piece planet, in order for Whitebeard to destroy the entire planet, he would need to be outputting large planet levels of energy. And Whitebeard is capable of doing this in old age and should be a character that Kaido should scale above, especially his old self. Especially considering that even under the context of Whitebeard's title, Kaido is still stated to be stronger than him in a one-on-one scenario or in the context of a fight.
The strongest in the world is hard to say what makes you the strongest. This wasn't some kid's competition like foot race or arm wrestling or test grades. According to Skull, the pirate obsessed nerd, in terms of sheer battle power in a one-on-one fight, Kaido was likely the strongest. If you were sitting around drinking, telling stories, and debating the merits, you might conclude that Kaido was invincible, strongest creature alive, while Big Mom was the strongest family in the world, and Edward Nuker's very life was that of the strongest pirate alive. There's nothing.
I mean, again, this is something that even Law would also scale to, and
Bro thinks my scaling is weird because I use statements, feats, and narrative instead of some random fuck-ass calcs that some random person on the internet thought up because they're meaningless. Was already faster than light years ago. What's your excuse? What makes Naruto... Okay, when was Naruto... Well, okay, at what point in time do you think Naruto became light speed? Let me ask you that first. At what point in time do you think Naruto is consistently light speed?
During that fight prior to Gear 5, he would have gotten 20 times stronger. And this would be enough to get Luffy into the Dwarf Star ranges of power even prior to Gear 5, which would just get him further into it. And of course, if it's not clear, Kaido scales to this Luffy. They literally fight each other. And then of course, we could talk about speed. Even characters like Base Sanji are capable of pulling off FTL plus speed feats. Specifically when saving Edison, this gets him to 35 times faster than light. I don't really know why, but there are some people who seem to genuinely think that Sanji is like the fastest character in the verse or one of the fastest
The
characters.
Zabuza arc? Okay, so then you'd just be objectively wrong. If you think that Naruto is... Let me ask you actually this. Datebayo, do you agree with the data books? Do you agree with the data books? Do you think the data books are a justifiable source that, and that they should be used when scaling? Let me ask you that first. Let me ask you that first.
In the verse, again,
A One Piece shooter game when? Oh, a One Piece shooter game where you're a fucking Marine. You're a Marine and you're trying to catch pirates. Don't you find it a little funny? Naruto was already moving an MFTL while Luffy was struggling dodging a shark man who Cap said massively hypersonic. Let me ask you this. No, that's all disingenuous bullshit. I don't really care about that. Let me ask you this. Do you agree with the data books, yes or no? That's the only thing that really matters right now. Do you believe in the data books?
He's genuinely
Law Island Incident Simulator, also my last message.
At least
Let me
in
check it out.
When he's performing this feat, he is getting casually blitzed like he's
Genuinely,
already-
narrative
should not-
scaling must be more popular than calcs, which are mostly headcanon. Oh, I agree. Reasonably, narrative scaling should be way more important than calc-based scaling, but, yeah. I mean, it's fine if it's not. I could personally care less. Right. So then, let me ask you this. Would you... So let me ask you this then, right, Datebayo? So do you think that then it's normal to say that the Raikage, while using a speed form that amps him, is somehow slower than two kids by the start of Shippuden? Right? Because if you think that the data books are right, if you think that the data books are correct, then the Raikage using a lightning cloak, specifically the V1 lightning cloak, would genuinely still be slower than base Naruto and Sasuke in the earliest point in the series. So you're telling me that essentially every other data book statement's wrong then? Because if you believe that Naruto and Sasuke as children are light speed, then this statement for Kirin, let's see, the Mabui ethereal transmission, I believe you can excuse that. No, I don't know. We're not going to excuse that. You're telling me that the Mabui ethereal transmission jutsu, you're telling me that this statement, you're telling me that every single one of these light speed statements are just objectively wrong, right? You're telling me that they're all just objectively wrong. Naruto and Sasuke are light speed and every other data book statement's incorrect, right? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Come on now, buddy. Bro really said Kid Naruto and Sasuke are light speed from, like, that point in the series. Absolutely insane. Okay, but not every statement is? Okay, so now we're saying that not every statement is like... So if we're saying that not every statement's like the same, then I can just say... So if we're saying that, right? Then we can just say that Haku's Ice Mirror Jutsu is also not light speed, right? Because if every statement's not the same, then that would mean that I can just argue this statement isn't a light speed statement either then, right? This is just a hyperbole then. Because if you're saying that every statement might be a hyperbole, it might not be the same, every statement might not be taken seriously, I can just say the Haku lightspeed statement is also something that cannot move at light speed, therefore everything else would be wrong, right? I could literally just use that then, right? Right? Because if Naruto and Sasuke are faster than light by that point in the series, then the fastest shinobi in the world, narratively speaking, would be slower than them via their own databook statements. Then Mifune's lightspeed slash would be lightspeed. Then Mabui's ethereal transmission jutsu would quite literally... I really don't like this process. These guys always asking for something. No, I'm just asking you for simple logic. I'm just asking you to break down the logic for me because it just doesn't make sense. Because it's almost as if Naruto and Sasuke cannot be... Was a narrative moment to showcase speeds early as FTL Calc, so take away from that, going directly against the narrative over Calcs yet again. I agree with you, but like, yeah. If you and Eon both agree to it, I will gladly debate right now on FTL Naruto. Yeah, I mean, you guys are fine with it. I don't really care. I don't like it when I get proven wrong. Man, it's question. Double speed and power. Horty Jones legitimately starts to move faster when he uses his pill meta, so yes, it amps speed as well. Fantastic. If you say this, that goes against the author. Yeah, what you're saying also goes against the author, because the author also said that the Raikage can run at almost light speed, so what's the point? So rushing at almost light speed. Imagine, because here's the thing, right? So you're telling me that the Anbu Black Ops, this statement about the Anbu Black Ops being light speed just doesn't make sense then, right? You're telling me that the author who wrote down that A and B are rushing at almost light speed are rushing at speed slower than two fucking kids without any amps. Right? Man. That's crazy. Why would he? Right? Interesting. Why? Can you explain that to me? Oh, you know what? Let's actually talk about this instead. Let's talk about this instead. Let's talk about how Naruto and Sasuke as kids are very much slower and weaker, especially at that point in the series, than most other shinobi, right? But if they were actually faster than the speed of light, if they were, like, objectively speaking, faster than the speed of light, by your logic at least, if they were objectively speaking, faster than the speed of light by your logic, then you could just genuinely argue, you know, I'm just saying, you could also just genuinely argue, let's see, where the fuck is it actually? Ah, right here. You could just genuinely argue that it would make absolutely no sense for the Raikage to say that Mabui's ninjutsu is object teleportation so she can send any object anywhere at the speed of light. That would make absolutely no sense for him to say that she can send any object anywhere at the speed of light, which, for fun fact, this is the only time that the speed of light is mentioned in Naruto in the entire 700 chapters. This is the only time that that the words light, speed of light, or light speed are used in the entire 700 chapters of Naruto. And yet you're sitting here and telling me that Mabui can teleport objects across anywhere she wants at speeds lower than what two little kids can travel at, right? By your logic, you're telling me that there is no reason for Mabui to be able to teleport things at light speed if two kids if literally every other character stronger than Naruto and Sasuke by the first arc of the story could literally just outrun this light speed teleportation jutsu, right? Mind you, it's the only light speed actual statement. Bro, let's do this. Let's do this, Datebayo. I'm just gonna time you out for like 24 hours. I don't want to hear your words. I don't want to continue to listen to your bullshit. You literally have provided actually nothing. You're basically just saying you guys are wrong, I'm right. You're not looking at it the way that I'm looking at it. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Yeah. Naruto over One Piece, all that bullshit. You just don't agree with it, and it's fine. I genuinely don't care, dude. Like, I genuinely don't care what you have to say. You don't really know what Naruto scaling, as far as I'm aware. You seem to not know any Naruto scaling. Instead of providing actual feats, evidence, and statements, all you're doing essentially just saying you guys are just not understanding it properly, and then you're just gonna whine and complain about us not seeing things from your perspective, but nobody gives a shit about a random obtuse and very biased perspective like, oh yeah, Naruto and Sasuke are FTL by like the first arc of the series and Luffy is fighting random weak-ass characters because I haven't read or watched One Piece. Yeah. Whatever you want. We saw that, Six. Whatever you want.
To speed like even a base Luffy does. And so using this as a baseline for base Luffy's speed, when we once again factor in the fact that
bro clearly knows. Minato must be so proud to think that his son at 12 years old is faster than his rival A and B, debatably faster than his own signature jutsu. Yeah. Crazy. Minato must be so proud.
In Gear 4 Bounce Man, then he should be getting many times faster when in Snake Man his speed form, which is just the speed version of Bounce Man, which should pretty much just mean that Luffy at his best, say during the Kaido fight, would have gotten 8.8 times faster than his base self, who again is at a baseline 35 times faster than Light. This would make the Luffy during that final clash with Kaido prior to him getting Gear 5, 300.
Yeah, Naruto fans always do the same thing, man. It's always the most fuck shit logic you could ever even remotely try to think of.
As for how this fight would actually play out, yeah, it's not very pretty. Kaido has enough attack.
We still love you, Six. We saw literally what you wrote, but don't worry, we still love and accept you. You are still a wonderful member of this community, even though you're a scaling addict. Sorry, a debate addict. Remember when they hyped up Kakashi cutting the return stroke of lightning, but it was struck, but after it struck, making it even worse of a feat? Happy early Pride Month. Guys, let's give Six a happy early Pride.
If you're looking at season 4, for example, you could take Conquest and Nolan.
Yeah, I'm a Naruto fan too. Yeah.
Did not do anything to Kaido. That is simply how strong and honestly underrated Kaido is as a character in terms of power crossverse. Or rather, that's just how much all of One Piece is underrated in terms of crossverse power scaling. There are genuinely people that think that characters like Luffy and Kaido or the very top tiers within One Piece would have no chance against Viltrumites, which is, in my opinion,
I thought I was never gay. I don't know where the fuck you got the idea from. The idea that I was gay, but I'm definitely not.
Like, I know there's a recent topic going around of, the Saiyans.
Listen, I'm all for Pride Month. I'm all for the LGBTQIA+. I'm not. Personally, I'm not. It's not travel speed, bro. Naruto's slower than Rock Lee. Rock Lee's slower than sound without the gates. Bro really walked in here. Nice video. Kinda lost me with all the calcs and stuff. Viltrumite combat speed stuff. Very comprehensive. Very comprehensive. What? Where did you get that scrolling black background? If you don't mind me asking. Like, Haku's ninjutsu is overhyped. It's a good move, but it's more of an entrapment of an opponent and denying them an easy means to a fight or counterattack. Yeah. He's debate sexual. It's his nature. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to switch to Donkey Kong Bonanza. I want to play a little bit before I have to head out, because I do have to go pick up my girlfriend from work. I'm going to spend the weekend with her, so likely what's going to happen is that from here on out, we're just going to play some Bonanza. Can I turn this on with the controller? Okay. So the Switch 2's on. Give me 1 second, I gotta move back. Ugh. I know, is that the reason? It's funny, you watched the whole video just to ask about his background. Yeah. Listen, I felt like it would be a little bit fucked up if I hey, what video background you use. Like, I don't know. I felt like that would have been a little fucked up on my end. I wanted to at least give, like, the full video. I wanted to at least give, like, the full video an actual, like, thorough watch through. Can't wait for the stream named Cheese. Again, you still read Ichi the Witch? Yeah. I'm gonna... I should still read Ichi the Witch. I'm gonna play some Switch games. I'll read Ichi the Witch on my own time. I do enjoy it. I do think it's a fun series. But right now, I do want to try out some Bonanza. I'm a shapeshifter, endless masquerade. Been running on my life. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I'm a shapeshifter, endless masquerade. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Do-dum-dum-dum. Besides, I think it would also be kind of fun for us to, like, potentially, in the future, scale Donkey Kong Bonanza. Imagine if you hated a video like, what soundtrack did you use? By the way, your video's ass. Hated the video? Yeah, no, actually, I've gotten, like, comments like that before, like, oh, yo, what's soundtrack? Didn't really watch the video, but what soundtrack were you using? Debate me on meta-debating? Fuck no. No, I don't want to debate you on meta-debating. Bro is a debate sexual. Bro can't stop himself from just debating everything and everyone and anything and anything else, man. That's crazy. Alright, I genuinely, but Subnautica 2, if you liked it, a stream would be cool too. I can definitely consider getting Subnautica 2 at some point. I wouldn't mind it. Sublayer 10. Ingot Inga. The Ingot. I did this. Alright. Let's just head straight in. I'm sure that the game is going to have plenty more shit. The game is going to have plenty of gold for us to pick up anyway, so I'm just going to chill for now and, like, grabbing everything and anything near me. Just got to remember how to play again. Alright, let's get all this stuff first. Oh wait, guys. When she won't wear the maid outfit. Ah, fuck, I can't do it here. The space is too enclosed. I can't do the bit here. Fuck. When she won't call me a good boy and peg me at night. Fuck, I can't do it here. The space isn't, like, it's not, like, the right kind of space I need. Fuck. I can't do the bit. L Reddit joke, Unk? Alright. Fuck you. Alright, fair enough. There were always signs. Given to the greed. I can't stop. I'm sorry. I can't stop, like, going through these locations and just, like, picking up all the gold, man. It's just so good. Bro said 10 Asta. I'm crying. Oh, sweet. Alright. Alright. Where the hell's the story, thing? Where the hell's the next story thing? What is this? Alright. Alright, last thing I'm gonna break. Last thing I'm gonna break, I promise. Last thing. Where the hell did the balloon go? Oh, there we go. Did I get it? Alright, whatever. Finally, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yep. Hold to tear off. Oh, that's right. You can use the rock as well to, like, break materials in front of you. That's right. Sweet, 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 sweet. Right! I like this. Alright. Alright. Hey, DK! Glad you survived! Did you use the barrel cannon to get up here? Talk about useful, eh? Wish I could blast myself up to check on the folks in town, but this other barrel ain't working. This is weird. This weird hard metal flowed out that gizmo and sealed up everything tight. We have no idea what to do about it. Okay. Cool. So what's up? You're... Wonder what this thing is. And that other thing that fell down after us. Hey, DK, you got here just in the right time. I got a favor to ask. You saw something fall down with us, right? I think it made a crater when it landed beyond the tunnel. Could you go and check it out for us? Yeah, sure. Why not? So, like, is Donkey Kong the only one of these monkeys that, like, is actually strong? Or, like, are all these other apes also powerful and they just view Donkey Kong as, like, the apex of them? Don't forget, the chunks lose durability per swing, so don't just mindlessly walk towards thorns as their durability runs out and you hurt yourself. Got you. Emu Maid Outfit 3D model 6'1" for sale on Amazon with 2 usable entrances. What do you mean 2 usable entrances? Would you wear a maid outfit for your girlfriend? Would I wear? How much do you know about, like, the story of this game? I know the ending and the final boss. That's it. I just know the ending and the final boss. That's basically it. They're chimps. Like, DK is a Kong. He's, like, objectively stronger than them, I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, I don't think it takes a genius to know that the big gorilla is probably stronger than the monkeys, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure Donkey Kong's, like, 5 times bigger than these dudes. Oh, yeah. I'm taking all this shit first. Fuck the... Yo, whatever's going on with that thing in the bottom... Oh, this place is a gold mine. Literally. Holy shit, this is just full of stuff. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't just, like, hold the button down and it smashes for you. Cranky Kong was supposedly DK, but he got old. Yeah, he got very old and very small. Cranky Kong honestly always surprised me with, like, how... Cranky Kong always surprised me with how, like, how small he gets in comparison. I always wondered, like, so you're telling me that, like, DK in the future is just gonna, like, lose all his muscle mass and just turn into a tiny little monkey? I mean, I guess, right? Also, doesn't Cranky Kong's, like, doesn't his wife end up dying in one of the games? I think it was, like, in Donkey Kong 64. She ends up, like, going into the afterlife. Also heard that in DK Country, DK basically cracked the moon with a punch, but I don't know much otherwise. And the reason people think K. Rool beats Luffy. DK one-shots the Narutoverse in one punch, gonna max out the currency meter before you even finish the tutorial. So, my bad. Pretty sure Cranky Kong was the original one who throws barrels at Mario. DK's his grandson? Yeah. Yeah. That does seem to follow the lore. A rock! What the fuck? What? What the hell is this thing? Where am I? Oh, she talks. Monkey! No, 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 no. The audio is gone again like yesterday? No way. No way. Really? Okay, system. Where's sound? Let me try to fix that for you guys. Okay, so the input is the microphone. I need the volume mixer then. Oh, right. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear it now. Did you guys hear this? You guys hear this? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear this? What did I miss? You haven't missed much. We just did through the story. I found a little cute. I found a little rock thing. Sweet. Wait! I'm not scary. I'm just a gorilla. Look at what I can do. I'm not scary. I'm just a monkey that can surf. Holy shit. If you mean Kong grunting, then yeah. Everything's perfect now? Perfect. You're telling me I could just fight these guys while skating? That's so funny. No way. So scary. So scary. Ooh. 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 What's Donkey Kong even about? It's about Donkey Kong! Isn't it obvious? It's about a monkey. I will say I've only experienced this game through playthroughs, but I greatly enjoy the story. The Odd Rock has just joined you. Has decided to join you. It's about Donkey named Kong. Sounds like Wally. You can now use the powers of the Odd Rock's voice. This thing has powers? So I can find out where these things are based on their singing? Cool. So like, okay. Obviously it's for like gameplay purposes, but there's clearly rock that like DK can't break. Rock like this is something that like even is so tough that like DK can't even break back. So that means that there are like compositions of stone that like DK can't break with his bare fists. It's probably something where like, it's probably one of those things where like, with Minecraft where like, bedrock is like harder than anything. You know what I mean? By the way, how the fuck is this thing sticking onto my back? Wait. How the fuck is it sticking to my back like this? What the fuck? Call it a psychic pebble. Maybe. Perhaps. Okay. Move along the wall. I could scale this. Why couldn't I scale the other one? By the way, you can multiplayer players Odd Rock to shoot out sound projectiles? Really? Okay. Alright, we got all of that. Wait. Wait. Alright, now we got that. Playthrough plus punk. Hold, I could unironically get Conker's Bad Fur Day on my PC. It shouldn't be bad. What floor am I on? I'm on the first floor. I'm on the, I think that's like the first level. If you guys want, we can do that at some point. We can try to power skill Conker's Bad Fur Day. I wouldn't mind playing that with you guys. Whoa! Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. Wait, no! Get me back down there! No! I want... Give me my... I'm not... No nugget of gold must go unturned. I need all of it. Wait. Where'd you guys get this stuff? You guys have been holding out on me. You motherfuckers. Alright. You're a loot goblin, huh? Yes, I'm a loot goblin. You got a problem with that? Is there an issue? Huh? Nice work, DK! I saw it all from here! I can't believe you destroyed that thing! Up ahead, you'll find the heart of the Ingot Isle, Baboom Town! The type of greed spoken of in Bible. Be careful, okay? There are some weird critters poking around. Yeah, that's the spirit. If you get confused or lose your way, try singing a little ditty. A little ditty? I have no idea what the gold does for me, but it clearly must be good if I have to gather all this gold. Okay, so DK can't like crush metal. He can crush stone, he can't crush metal. Cool. Actually, yes he can. DK can apparently crush metal. What the fuck? Now that was satisfying. Whoa, 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 what did that say? Oh, okay. There's nothing there. Yeah. Yeah. I see that, I see that. Whoa, okay. Wait, treasure! Whoa! Wait, there's nuggets of gold in here too. Can I not go underwater? What kind of shit is this? What do you mean I can't go underwater? DK can swim! It's in all the games! What the fuck? Yeah! Give me all the good stuff. Give me that shit too. Come on now. I'm still waiting for the Gear 5 Diddy video. You're not gonna get it. You get pushed back immediately, yeah. He's simply too buoyant? That's crazy. All this shit, man. There's no way we reach like 999 before the game. Why though? You scared of a comparison with him? No. Hope Frieza doesn't see this shit. Why would Frieza ever want to watch this? What, Lord Frieza's gonna get mad at me because I'm fucking playing a game about a monkey? Or I guess I should say an 8. Alright, alright, alright. That's enough of that. Let's get in. Okay, I definitely can't go up there, I'll slip. Apple juice? Okay. Cool. Whoa! What was that up there? Okay. Wait, where the fuck am I now? Okay. Holy shit! There is nothing... You reached it before the tutorial too? That's funny. Bro's gonna be the end of the game over a billionaire. Whoa, 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 even the... Oh, shit! Oh, you guys were right. That would hurt. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What do I do? What do I do? Cool. Grab this again. Okay. Just clear this shit up. This shit's dangerous. You can't punch thorns, you can punch the thorn monster. I got you, got you, got you, got you, got you, got you. Oh, this is the thing I was looking for. Sweet. What is that over there? Wait, there's gold over there too. Cool. Oh, I literally cannot pass this. I literally can't bypass that. Wait, I can. The fuck? Wait, whatever. You can't... I don't think you can easily get through as you currently are. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I see what you're saying. That's fine. Whoa! That's kind of cool movement. Okay. The movement in this game is kind of crazy. Like, there's a lot of potential for, like, a lot of the movement in this game. Whoa! Okay. Eon, when he sees a penny across the other side of the country. Listen, listen. It's not bad to have as much gold stocked up. Is there anything wrong with being frugal about my finances? God damn. Have you seen the summit? It's weird steak that means looking through the face of... It's a banana bandit. He's flying dirt pile. Put it there. Okay. Sure. You're heading up. Be careful. Cool. Wait, no. Do that again. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. This is not me being greedy. I'm not being greedy, guys. Hold on. You know those bug people from Invincible? Yeah, allegedly. Give me this. What's wrong with me just wanting to... Hold on. Hold on. Let me, Alright, now we can, Is there any way for me to get these? Fuck, man, I can't get them. Alright, whatever. What the hell is this? Okay. Bad monkey. I don't think you should be saying those things. To be fair, though, this is a game about monkeys. You'll need it for some power-ups? Sweet. Whoa, what the hell? Whoa! That looked like a Kremlin skeleton. What the fuck? No, I'm still hungry. I must feast on more. Yeah, I really did just blitz him. Whoa! Whoa, what the fuck happened? Hey, what is all this? Damn. It's just an apple. Sometimes that heals me, not any gold. Man, that's upsetting. Type shit. Bananas! You punched him. What do you mean? What happened? They went too fucking fast. It just blew the fuck up, bro. What? I'm supposed to expect that if I punch something, it's gonna explode instead of it just breaking down? That's not on me. To be fair, that is not on me. So...
Let's jump.
Oh, banana. What happened to my fucking overalls? I thought DK was supposed to wear like overalls. What happened to them? DK exploding that thing with a single punch is how Luffy versus Naruto goes. Oh shit. Oh look, a monkey eating bananas. Yo, DK looks like an absolute goober. I'm growing more and more fond of the look. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite design of DK. I still have a soft spot for the rare iteration. But I will say, I do like this DK. It's growing on me, right? Like, it's very expressive, and I think that's a very good thing. What the fuck? There's a whole island. Holy shit. Why is there a blue sky underneath? What the fuck is going on? We went down, not up. Me when my Mario game doesn't make any fucking geological sense. Jesus Christ. Ape Cape. Ah. Oh, banana. Don't question the logic. That's how much of a Zoro you are in this game. Hold on. Explain that shit right now. How am I a Zoro? What the fuck do you mean? Donkey Kong on his way to find the One Piece right now? That's what I'm saying. Ever heard of Hollow Earth theory? Is it the one from, I've heard of, like, the Hollow Earth stuff from, like, the MonsterVerse, like, Godzilla movies. Press A and hold it, so I can up my stats. Cool. Using a held chunk, you can do a double jump with it. Cool. By pressing B and then B again, you will fire into the ground and below you create an impact. Better collecting level 1. Increases the hand range by 50%. The punches need to smash through terrain for the rating of 2-star. Yeah, I want this one. Yeah, give me this. I want this specifically. Not gonna lie, I've been hearing make the Grand Line great again from you. I've never once said make the Grand Line great again. What the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, pretty much that. Earth is hollow enough to have livable environments under the surface. I mean, I guess. Oh boy, I wonder what Eon's gonna pick. Fuck you. Bro, I already know which... Oh, what if I... Wait, hold on. What if I just, like, reset the game? What if I reset the game and then get the skill point again, and then I just do it for something else? Fuck you guys. What the fuck? Holy shit. There's a map. Ooh, the map's really fast and responsive. I do like that. Huh. Whoa, what the fuck? What the hell? How do I beat this thing? Wait. You're not gonna throw it? I'm gonna throw it. Fuck you. Wait, no! Fuck. What?! Earlier you said you're going to try a PC game. I thought PC games were dookie. Welcome home, broski. I'm not... No, I said I was going to download Conker's Bad Fur Day onto my PC. Those are second currency for this layer, just like Mario, bro. Really risked it all. Now he's mad he's going to lose all his gold. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what just happened. That has nothing to do with what the exact thing happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened. You guys... I'm just starting up the game for the first time today for the back. No. Sky, my fucking stupid ass fingers, yeah. See, look at that. We just entered the lagoon layer for the first time. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't restart the game. I don't know. You can't call me Zoro. Alright, pussy. I know what your fucking abilities are now. Look at that, I got all my money. Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. You tell me that something happened because right now I have the exact same amount of gold that I had before. So literally, under every facet of logic, nothing happened. Alright, this thing's gotta die. Wait, no. How do I do it? Right there. Fuck you. Wait, no! Oh, fuck. Can I just return the title screen real quick? Let me try this. One second. I can do this right. I can do this the right way. I keep forgetting. One second. Oh, look! An angry monkey. An angry ape. Huh. I can't be Zoro, by the way. Just for the fucking loot. Yes, just for the fucking loot. Yes. I swear to God, yes. Just for the fucking loot. Stop. You're not gonna get it back. It keeps falling into the island. No, I'm gonna get it. Watch. You guys are about to see me do some fucking MLG gamer type shit right now. What? Watch this. First, we rip it out the ground, right? And then we throw it here so when this guy dies, I can pick it up. See? I'm a fucking genius. Watch. So what we're gonna do now, is we're gonna rip this one off right here, and then, fuck. Wait. And then he blows up there. See? Now I got all the loot. Now I got all the loot. Lagoon layer, chat's favorite. Type shit. Fossils. Trade in for new fashion items? Cool. Give me... Yo. Give me my gold! Give me my gold! Fuck, man! Give me my fucking gold! It's right there! God damn it! Fuck! Fall off! Give me my fucking gold! Damn you, man! Give me my gold! Unless I have an explosive. How do I get an explosive, bro? What the fuck? Wait! This is total bullshit! It's just floating! This shit doesn't make any sense! Alright, whatever. I'll be back for that. I will be back for that. Every time you dig, there's a chance they spawn a treasure chest that contains a map for a fossil. Got you. This thing is just flying there. This is total fucking bullshit, dude. Alright, let's see what the fuck these guys are talking about. Yo, the one who hollered as he was falling down here just now. We don't take kindly to outsiders. You best get out on. You best get out. Get on out of here. You hear? Okay. And live here. They're just rage baiting you? Yeah, they really are. They really fucking are. Yeah, sure, let's go see. Wait! Wait! Alright. Treasure chest! Treasure chest down there. Pin that. Where the fuck am I? Okay, so I have to go down now. Whoa. When I unlock the treasure tie clothing item, increases chances of chests spawning. I spent hours digging for them until I got every monster on the map. Nice. Where the fuck am I supposed to be going? Okay, I went way too far down. No. Alright, we're almost there. Just keep slamming down. Alright, sweet. We didn't need to do all of that, but you know what? I'm okay with it. What's in here? Holy shit. Oh, banana! Oh, banana! You'll be gaming on PC then? No, I'm not gonna be gaming. No, I'm going to just get a Nintendo 64 game on my PC, emulate it, and probably just play it on stream for you guys. If you'd like that. I'm not gonna play PC games. Sweet. Wait, that's definitely a fossil. Yo! Hello! Keep it together, bud. Those intruders are scary, but we're scrappy salvagers. You can't just cast this problem aside. I moved 10 feet from spawn! Fuck off! He said emulate Nintendo Ninjas, get this man. Type shit. Those Bouldry bozos are roughing up our precious reservoirs. We gotta pool our resources and run them out of here. It's time to unleash our secret weapon. Those creeps are sure to split once we throw a few boom bombs at them. Stay with me, bud. You see that glowing clay over there? That crackly stuff? Rip some out and you'll have your hands on a boom bomb. That stuff could blast through anything, even solid concrete. Just aim it. Alright, so how the fuck do we get back? I need to get back up there. How the fuck do we get back up? Right here? It seems like something I can throw this to. Holy shit! Wait, I got an idea, I got an idea, I got an idea. Wait, I got an idea. I have an idea, I have an idea. I'm about to cook. Let me cook, let me cook, let me cook, let me cook. So we go up here. We go... Okay. So we do that. We do this. Right, 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 right. Hear me out, hear me out. Can I do from a jump? Okay. Let me, Okay. Sweet. Okay, so we go here, we go here, we go here. And then we just break upwards. No, 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 no. We don't want to break down. We don't want to break down. Damn it. We go here. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Watch. Guys, give me a second. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook. Okay. Let's see if I can make it up now. Right, right. Okay, so we go here, we go here. We go here, we go here. That also works. You know what? That also works. That also clearly works. So you're downloading a game on your PC to play, that's... What's that called? I think that's called you trying to find some semantics to try to be right, and I disagree with it wholeheartedly and in every sense of the fucking term. I have absolutely no reason to believe that me playing a Nintendo game on a PC constitutes as me PC gaming. If anything, I'm only doing it so that I can, provide content for you guys. It's not for the sake of PC gaming. So, in fact, you're wrong. Okay, okay. I gotta find a way to, like, make a platform for myself up so I can get up there. Wait, what if we just go from here? Wait, what about here? Right? We go here, 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 here. Here, 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 here. Right? And then we go here, 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 here. Okay! I should be able to jump all that. I should be able to jump all that now. Okay. Let me cook, 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 let me cook. Also. Did you get the checkpoint down there? I'm trying, I'm trying. Alright. Now that we got that, right? Okay. Holy shit, I could just climb. I did all of that for nothing. I didn't know that, alright? Fuck off. Well, we didn't do that, alright? Fuck right off. Finally! That was pissing me off so much. Alright. Listen, I didn't know I could climb up. How the fuck was I supposed to know that I could climb up with a fucking rock in my hand? I didn't think that DK's fucking monkey-ass grippers could do that. Alright? That's not on me. Logical reasoning would dictate that if I'm holding a fucking rock over my head, I wouldn't be able to climb up the fucking wall, alright? Fuck right off. Alright. Alright, but I didn't think about it, alright? I didn't think I could do that, alright? How was I supposed to know? Please set it like 47,000 times. Alright. So you're telling me I could just chuck these things? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I got something for your ass. Oh, yeah. Alright, give me this. He said it like 40,000 times. Oh, my bad! I didn't check fucking chat! That is insane. Yes, and I didn't check chat. I clearly didn't see chat. You got a problem with that? Fuck. My bad for not reading chat for once. Alright. Wait. I saw a banana. Where was... I saw a banana somewhere. My monkey instincts are telling me that there's a banana in here. By the way, did you guys see that that guy Chud the Builder ended up actually like... the dude... Taidama Dragon Ball reference? Wait. Wait. I definitely saw a fucking banana. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I 100% saw a banana. Wait. Wait! Why proceed the story when I can just get more? Yeah. There's so much shit here. Holy fuck. Give me this. Right here. And then pick that up and throw it up there. Over here. Yeah, the dude freaking antagonized someone right outside of a courthouse, shot him in quote-unquote self-defense, yet Chud the Builder also literally was just boasting about how he did that on an earlier video. Messed up. You know what's even crazier? They actually caught him with a older tweet that he made. Eon got that billionaire mindset, not a care for anything but profit. Listen, if I see gold, I'm picking it up. I don't give a shit. I don't care if it breaks the pacing of the game. I don't care if it makes it, if you guys have seen it 1,000 times. I'm going for the coins, alright? I'm the kind of guy that if I ever run out of fucking coins or rings or whatever in a game, I'm crashing out. The first thing I care about in any game is building up an economy. Wait. The most important thing for me in any game is always building that economy. Taidama is in I'm Home Japan. Okairi is welcome. Ugh, I have to get another one of those. Alright, give me a second. Alright. If that's the case, upgrade the hand slap radius, you'll thank me later. I did! That's literally the first thing I did. Literally the first thing we did. Sweet! Ah, sweet, Lois! Oh, banana! Alright, I don't think I can play for much longer. It's about to be... I'm playing until like 4:10. Alright, I don't see any more gold. Let's talk to this dude and I'll probably just start heading out. I have to be out soon. Hey, what do you got here? An outsider? I'm busy thinking, and what I'm thinking about is my business. It ain't your business, so scram. Well, if you're gonna be nosy, this stake thing has stopped by the waterfall from flowing further down. The lower levels are gonna run dry real soon if you don't do something about it. Ghetto hates you right now? Bro knows? Of course, bro. Listen, an economy in any game is usually a very strong way to start off. Alright, you assholes. Fuck you. Give me that. Fuck you. Ah! Alright. Hey, Michael's on. Oh, that's right. Explosive, 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 right here. Oh, look! It's that enemy from before. I wonder what would happen if I just throw this at him. Fuck you. Okay, what were we doing? Oh yeah, back to the important stuff, right here. What's this? Naruto releases? Probably not. I'm very slow at finishing games. Oh my god, there's so much stuff here. What if I just do this? It doesn't work. I have to throw the object itself. Interesting. Do these things blow up if I, like, hit them? Jesus, there's so much stuff. God damn. That's jokey on. I know, I know. Okay, cool. How do I get this now? There we go. Wait, there's nuggets up there. Wait. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, give me that. Alright. Give me that. And then we... What do we do with this again? Oh shit, there's just so much stuff. I kind of don't want to stop playing. My girlfriend could probably get here on her own. Yo, she's gonna be so mad at me if I don't get my ass out of this right now. Alright, I'll give it like 2 more minutes and then I'll, fuck, this is fun. Alright. Where the fuck are we going with this? Alright. Enough of this. Enough of this. Enough of this. Enough of this. We have to not... Alright, there we go. That's the last one. That's the last one, I promise. That's the last one. There's no more... Wait. We have to be thorough. Sorry, I'm a thorough guy. I'm a thorough guy. I'm a thorough guy. Sorry. It's also... Yeah, I gotta... Go to the next sub-layer, save. That makes... Don't make her upset. Yeah. Yeah. I won't make her upset. I won't make her upset. Yeah. Would you say 3 children if it meant you lost 1 gold nugget in DK Bonanza? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, there's 3 children that are, like, on a railroad next to me and they're about to die and I can, like, press the button, but it means that I'm gonna lose a nugget in DK Bonanza. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Would I save a child's life if it meant... Oh, it just went down. Sure. Okay. Sublayer 101. Ooh. But for real, ironically, Aeon building a case for Frieza to kill us. What do you mean? Oh, that's cool. That's cool, that's cool. Oh, banana! Alright. Are destined to cure cancer, by the way. Am I allowed to save? Am I allowed to save? Like, you know what I mean? Wait. I need 2 points for better collecting? Fuck, dude. Surf enhances your turf surfing skills so you can skim over bodies of water by pressing ZL. I need 4 for that. This increases my punching power. Apple juice increases the maximum number of apple juices you can carry on. Better serving chunks of rain will dissolve at a slower rate. The game autosaves? I would save the kids. I would save the kids. Alright, we're gonna save it here. Gonna grind bananas just for the sake of upgrading. Yeah, I might just I might just do that. I'm not gonna lie, you're telling me I can upgrade it even further? You're telling me I can upgrade the clap even further by just getting another 3 bananas? Yeah, I'm 100% fucking grinding bananas. Alright, guys. Alright. Girlfriend, where the fuck is Eon? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna leave it there. I'll catch you guys all later. I can't stream this weekend. My weekend is actually kind of full. I might be able to stream next weekend if anything. I actually technically need to get to her by like 4:30, and it's 4:11, and it's like a 20-minute ride, so I'm actually late. Guys, thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm gonna catch you guys all later. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekends. As always, you know, just drink some water. Tell your girlfriend I sent you. Peace sign, running, and then a puff of smoke. He wouldn't move otherwise. You sent me running? Sure. I will catch you guys all later. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Yeah. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Peace out. Damn, we just started losing viewers as soon as I went to DK Bonanza. That's funny. Peace out.